Business Studios, 97.5, The Fanatic. Now it's time to wake up. Kincade and Salciunas is on the air.
Today's talk show for your morning drive.
I cannot watch a team that has World Series expectations have those guys bat in the middle of your order.
And you're still saying this team's worth being all in on? Andrew, even with that rotation that you're betting on that you love.
Yes.
This team's not good enough.
That's why you make trades.
Broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Don't waste this rotation, Dave. Knock, knock, Dave. Don't waste this rotation, Dave. Good morning, Johnny.
You're incredible.
Christopher Sanchez is incredible. I'm not incredible. I'm just a guy. Christopher Sanchez is a baseball god.
Let's go with all the positives first, because you're absolutely right. Christopher Sanchez is so... The ascension of Sanchez and Connor was bringing it up earlier, the idea of the guy that just a few years ago was bouncing back and forth between bullpen and then to start here and there. What he has done to build his career is truly amazing. It may be one of the best jobs of going from what was projected to be a maybe middle of the rotation guy to he could be a top of the rotation guy for any one of a number of organizations. And honestly, he has been better than Zach Wheeler. He's been better than Zach Wheeler. I know Zach Wheeler is dominant. Zach's amazing. It's like you're choosing between, do I want gold bars or do I want platinum bars? They're all awesome. They're great. But he has been ridiculous, Christopher Sanchez, and it's awesome to watch every single time out. I was telling Connor the other night at the golf outing, I love getting home. I got to get home. Got to watch a Wheeler start. Wheeler starts are great.
Yeah.
Now you say the same thing with Sanchez.
Yeah. Now you got. It's
both. Unbelievable.
Instead, I'm not even going to do the who's better than who. I'm just going to say I'm just glad that I got both these guys at the top of the rotation.
Yeah, it's like you're choosing from which vault do you want?
Sanchez under contract through 2030.
That great extension they signed him to last year.
Unbelievable.
Right around this time, if I'm not mistaken. And you know what?
If we go back down memory lane to the up and down thing that you guys were talking about, some bullpen, some starts. Remember, wasn't he competing with Bailey Falter? Oh yeah.
Yes. He was.
Who will be the better pitcher between the two? And it's not even close how their careers have gone on. Christopher Sanchez yesterday, in case you missed it, complete game, 4 hits, 1 earned run, strikes out 12, walks a total of 0. 12 strikeouts, no walks yesterday. 95 pitches after 8 innings. He goes back out there for the 9th and made it quick.
Oh, he did.
That was a quick 9th inning, and the Phillies beat the Red Sox 4-1. They already won the series. They look to sweep Boston tonight, which, look, thank God, because it was 3 straight series in which they had lost, so they needed some sort of turn, and maybe they got that against a decent Red Sox team. I know the Red Sox are only 5 games over 500, but coming out of the All-Star break, the Red Sox were just 3 back of the Jays for first place in the AL East, right behind the Yankees, who a lot of people think could be one of the more dominant teams in the playoffs. The Red Sox were right there. So the Phillies to come out of the gate and take the first 2 in the series, that's very impressive. And, the offense, they scored 4 runs yesterday. It's not like it was some incredible offensive performance, but you got another home run from Kyle Schwarber. You finally got something from Max Kepler at the bottom of the order with a home run yesterday. And then Bryce Harper with another big moment yesterday since the All-Star break and even some games before the All-Star break. We're starting to see some vintage Bryce Harper. He steals home yesterday. Now, it doesn't technically go down as a stolen base.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it that.
But he steals home. Catcher's interference is the ruling. Here's how it sounded. We have NBC Sports Philadelphia's call. Here's how it sounded with Tom McCarthy last night.
Here comes Harper. He's going to try to steal home the throw, and he is...
I think he called a balk.
I think he did call a balk. Wait a minute.
There's some strange stuff, man.
Wow, he would have been safe anyway. Yeah. I think he got under the tag anyway.
He did get under the tag, and again, the call was catcher's interference because technically by rule...
I didn't understand it.
I did not know this one. So yesterday I knew about the catcher's interference. This one I didn't know. The catcher cannot catch and then step in front of the plate when the ball is not officially in play. Because it was a pitch, the catcher is not allowed to step in front of home plate. That's a rule. There's a line that they're not allowed to cross.
I did, only because they teach you as a pitcher, step off. You step back and then deliver so that you don't get a balk. A disengagement leads to no pitch.
That was a pitch, right?
But it was a pitch.
And so they rule him safe.
Weird.
He was safe regardless. They rule him safe, but the Phillies get the win. And so this is a good the Angels series was not fun to start out of the All-Star break, the second half of the season. This has been much better, Johnny. Wins are
nice.
much better.
It is. It's fun to watch, and that was nice. Still, though, the offense still was not right. I mean, you can count. You can say, hey, it's great. It was great to see Kepler hit the unicorn thing, the out of order shot, but Schwarber and Harper are not going to be able to carry them to what they need to do in October.
Right. Here is I'll just go through the box score with everybody listening, and this is why I keep on saying you got to make trades, because for a right-handed power bat and for somebody that can fit into this order. Turner, 2 for 4. Great. Schwarber, 1 for 4 with the home run. Harper, 1 for 3 with a walk. Gets on base twice yesterday. Castellanos, 1 for 4 with a single, a little bloop single. Still needs some more pop out of him. And then the rest of the lineup. Real Muto, who's been hitting the ball well.
He's best hitter in baseball going into the game last night in the month of July.
0 for 4. Marsh, who's batting 6th all of a sudden. 0 for 3. Kemp, 1 for 3 with a single. Kepler, 1 for 2 with the home run. Great, but again, that's hell froze over.
Correct.
And Bryson Stott, who's your new 9-hole hitter, deservedly so, goes 0 for 3 yesterday.
He's terrible.
2 hits in batters 5 through 9 yesterday.
And the Stott thing is every bit. Nobody wants to say it. The Stott thing is as huge a problem as almost any other problem they've got.
Yeah, because he was a guy that you were supposed to pencil in every single day. Some people had him being penciled in at the top of the order, and at one point this season he was your leadoff hitter, and it's just been downhill ever since. And so I understand that the notion of
what problem do you fix? Like, again, and it's one of the things that I put to you, and I respect the hell out of your baseball. I'm busting your balls. But, I mean, it's the idea of what problem do you think, how many trades are you going to make to fix the bullpen? I truly believe that one big move can make a drastic difference in this bullpen. One bat isn't going to make a drastic difference.
I think one right-handed power bat, which I've been screaming for since, I don't know, what day is it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Training!
Yeah, it's been a while.
That right-handed power bat drops everybody down the order one spot. So instead of Real Muto
you got
batting
4
fifth,
bad
he's
spots in the lineup right now. Like last night, that lineup card. When that lineup came out, go read the Phillies X account. When they posted the lineup. I mean, the last 4 guys in the order, it's horrendous.
Right. So the right-handed power bat drops everybody down.
Okay, so then you got 3 problems.
And then Spring Break Bohm comes back.
Spring Break Bohm.
Bohm eventually comes back, which it's like when Harper was out there, you could tell somebody was out.
And I do not think, and I absolutely do, as Connor make a good point there, because I do not believe Bohm is a problem.
No, he's a 280.
I believe Bohm.
He's just not hitting. He's not just driving the ball. That's his problem.
Right, and I believe that is not. I do not believe Bohm is a problem. So that would absolutely help.
Then you call up Crawford at some point, and maybe that fits.
And you just have to hope that he actually hits for average, because he's going to bat toward the bottom of the order, and it's going to be Crawford, Stott, left. Unless it's platoon time, which it is.
Sosa.
And
what are we waiting for?
No, I don't.
They can't wait for that.
I think the Phillies have shown. I mean, they pinch hit for Stott the other day. Like I think they're platooning him the rest of this way, and they absolutely should. So it was a fun win yesterday for the Phillies. The offense needs to do more. We're getting closer to the trade deadline. 8 days away, 6 o'clock on the 31st. You obviously know that we'll be talking about it. Every time there's a rumor, we'll react to it. But coming up next, I want to talk a little bit more about Bryce Harper. When he is on, and he's on right now, right? Extra base hits, it seems like, in every single game, or stealing home. Is there anyone more must-watch in Philadelphia than Bryce Harper? We'll discuss that coming up next. Also, I have a conspiracy theory about the steal home. You guys saw the show sheet, but you don't know where I'm coming from. Tinfoil cap time, and you know what? I don't think it's as crazy as it might sound. Johnny might actually agree with me.
I might.
We'll get into this coming up next. It's Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday morning. Schefter Wednesday today at 7:55 here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll talk about Bryce Harper and when he's on. Is there more of an exciting player or a must-watch player in Philadelphia in a second? But let me give you this conspiracy theory first.
Yeah, I love a good conspiracy theory. I do. I really do, though. I like them because sometimes there's some non-conspiracy to them.
All right. So the steal home yesterday.
Okay.
Walk with me. Talk with me. There's 2 outs. Bryce Harper, after the game, talked about it. He was like, look, I thought it was a good spot. The pitcher, the delivery was a little slow. There's 2 outs in the inning, and there was a left-handed batter. The 2 outs in the inning thing, I go, well, hold on a second. What do you mean by that? Brandon Marsh is up to bat. Is that I can't trust this guy to knock me in.
I don't think you're...
I'm going to play superhero. We've all done it. We've all seen it. High school, Sunday league. The guy that's up to bat, you go, this guy's probably not going to get it done.
He's not getting me home.
And when he says there's 2 outs in the inning, I go, well, so what that there's 2 outs in the inning? You never want to make a dumb out at home. Like, you're 90 feet away from scoring a run. You never want to make a dumb out at home. Sometimes you're aggressive, trying to score from first base on a ball in the gap, and you're trying to get a run across. But when it's the first inning like that, my theory is, Brandon Marsh up to bat.
I think there was a comment by John Kruk that sort of plays to that.
Oh, really? See, again, I watched the game. I barely listened to the game.
Something along the lines of like, when you're scrapping for runs, when you're scrapping for runs and you need runs, you do whatever it takes to get across the plate. Like sort of the same thing that you're desperate to get across the plate. Yeah, I don't think that's a conspiracy theory at all.
Well,
you're looking at Brandon Marsh there. You're thinking you're on the island.
Someone was on it last night, wasn't he?
Nah, 6:45 still too early.
No,
6:45 still too early, man. This is
every time I hear an Andrew conspiracy theory.
This was clear-minded.
I'm thinking
this was actually as clear-minded as can be.
No, I think you're right.
6:45.
I don't even think that's a conspiracy.
Too, right?
I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I think that's part of the equation. And that we've seen from Bryce before. When the team is not scoring a lot offensively is when he makes the worst base running decisions or the ones that we get mad at him for. Because he's a guy that feels like he has to carry this team. And sometimes he tries to do too much on the base paths because of it.
Because, hand up, when it happened, I said this was dumb. Like, you can be safe and still be dumb, right?
Okay. Yes.
Like that. To me, that was dumb.
Wait a minute.
I don't think it was dumb.
I thought it was dumb.
Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, it's a dumb. That's a dumb spot.
You got 2 on in the first inning, but maybe he's looking at the batter. He's going, all right. I can't trust this guy to knock.
That's a dumb
me in.
spot to be doing that, Connor.
Nah, first inning, you're not in like a huge spot. You feel like you got the guy already. He's thrown 20-some pitches, so you know he's not long for the game. Like, that guy's not going to sit out there and go 7. And you pick something that you think you can read. I mean, Castellanos stole second on him. If Castellanos is stealing
How about
bags,
this? I don't think it's ever really smart to steal home. That's just me.
I disagree.
I don't think it's ever really that smart unless you're reading something so well, which Harper said on the first pitch, because that was the second pitch of the at-bat. First pitch, I noticed how slow he was getting to home plate, so that's when I read it. I think he also was looking, all right, what can I do here because I don't trust Brandon Marsh. That's conspiracy theory for me.
No, I don't think it's a conspiracy.
All right.
I think that's good, but it is a dumb thing. And the thing is he's not a smart base runner.
No.
No matter how much fun it is to watch him play baseball, Bryce Harper's not a smart base runner.
No,
he is not intelligent on the baseball.
Yeah, he makes a lot of mistakes, and they hide it behind aggressiveness.
Correct.
Now, speaking of fun baseball player, when Bryce Harper is on, and you know what I mean by on. Like, every time he's up to bat, you're expecting damage. Every time he's on the base path, you're expecting something. Whether we roll our eyes at it, whether we yell and scream about it, or yell and cheer about it. Like yesterday's case, he steals home, you cheer about it. Even though I might question the decision, or I have a conspiracy theory about the decision, I still cheered that he stole home and scored a run. They stole a run in the bottom of the first inning. Is there anybody more exciting in Philadelphia right now when he's on than Bryce Harper? John? Connor?
Well,
Phillies or
anybody?
Saquon. I'm taking over Harper.
I think Saquon's the most exciting. Saquon's the most exciting athlete in Philly. Every time he touches the ball, you think he can take it to the house. So absolutely, Saquon above all.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if Bryce steals home and hurdles the catcher backwards and scores, then I might give it to him.
Saquon's the most exciting athlete in Philly.
All right, so you're going
every time he touches the ball, you think he can take it to the house.
So Saquon's won, no debate for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then it's Harper
right now.
Because look, I will still say when Embiid is on, which again, that's when he's healthy. Like again, I witnessed the 70-point game in person.
Yeah,
right?
Embiid's up there.
Like Embiid's up there, but again, it's got to be when they're on, not when they're hurt, not when they're pouting, not when they're in a bad mood. It's when they're on.
Too many disclaimers on that to make it an answer.
Well, I've seen Harper not on this year, and it wasn't necessarily fun to watch.
I do believe Bryce Harper plays hard every night, so I don't compare the two.
So I'm trying to think of other guys that would be up there. Schwarber's a guy that I think of.
He's a one-trick pony, but that one trick is awesome.
I can tell you that he's not there yet, but his skill set is. Mishkov will be there. Mishkov will be there. He's not there yet.
So he'll go on like a scoring streak.
When the supporting cast gets better around him,
right,
he's going to be absolutely lethal. But he's not there yet.
All right, so I want people to chime in on this at 610-632-0975. Sort of a fun discussion that we're going to have. We're going to talk a lot of Eagles today. Obviously, the Eagles reported to camp yesterday. Nick Sirianni speaks to the media for the first time of training camp later in the 9 o'clock hour. You'll hear it here on Kincade and Salciunas. But as a fun conversation off of that fun win yesterday, 4-1, great job by Christopher Sanchez. Harper steals home. When Bryce Harper is on, is there anyone more must watch than Bryce Harper? We gave some answers. We want to hear from you, 610-632-0975. Now, coming up next, will John Kincade give Rob Thompson credit for something last night? I will ask you that next, Johnny. Also, we have an update on Aaron Nola that we got to get to. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Wednesday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sanchez, a second ace. I'm Connor Thomas, and Christopher Sanchez, take a bow, young man. He threw the second complete game of the year for the Phillies last night, striking out 12, walking none, only one earned. And the Phils scored 2 in each of the first 2 innings. That was all they needed for a 4-1 win. Kyle Schwarber hit his 33rd homer of the year. Max Kepler also went yard, but the real story was the dazzling outing on the mound. And Rob Thompson talked about Sanchez's growth after the game.
Just a fantastic performance, and he's determined. He wants to get it done. He wants to finish. He doesn't like coming out of games. If he's in trouble, he wants to get himself out of trouble. He's really grown up in the last couple of years.
The Phillies broke their streak of 3 straight series losses by taking 2 of 3 already from the Red Sox game. 3 is tonight at 7 p.m. as they go for the sweep. Jesus Luzardo against Lucas Giolito, the pitching matchup. The Eagles have their first practice of training camp today. It's officially football season here in Philadelphia. Nick Sirianni will meet with the media coming up at 9:30. We'll play that live for you here on Kincade and Salciunas. We'll talk to Flyers' Owen Tippett coming up at 7:30, and Adam Schefter of ESPN joins us at 7:55. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hall of Fame sports writer Jason Stark.
When the Phillies are
97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 6:25 on this Wednesday morning. Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. A lot of fun stuff in store for you today. Owen Tippett will be joining us coming up at 7:30 this morning.
He's another one when the talent gets a little better around him.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that his production just even goes through the roof.
Yeah, looking forward to speaking with him at 7:30. Flyer season tickets on sale. Adam Schefter is going to be joining us at 7:55 for his typical Wednesday hit, and just a lot of other stuff. Nick Sirianni speaks to the media today at 9:30 for the first presser of training camp 2025, man.
Scheduled at 9:30. We'll just throw that out there.
Now, Ray Dunn gets so upset with Nick Sirianni when he's not prompt.
Oh, dude, he's never.
And he learned. I swear he learned it from you, because I remember back in the day when you would be upset about, well, we're supposed to be able to go to break here with Ann.
Yeah.
And you'd be upset, and it's like,
the Eagles don't think about the producers that have to move spots around.
Oh, we've built in contingencies this year, so we're good to go.
Well, that's good. We didn't have contingencies when I was the producer of the midday show.
See, that's because Connor thinks ahead. He's the think ahead producer.
Oh, it wasn't me.
I think it was Scott Masteller who was thinking ahead.
I got told the contingencies.
Well, that's good. Hey, you listened, and that's important. All right, Johnny.
It's a change.
Do you give credit to Rob Thompson?
You make it sound in the tease like I never give him credit.
No, I said for something last night.
Yeah, but you make it sound like I don't give the guy credit. I give the guy credit a lot for what he does well.
You used to call him Captain Hook.
I do.
And then this year you have been
Sleepy Rob.
This year you've been critical of him sometimes leaving guys in too long, like Jesus Luzardo.
Yes.
What did you make of the decision? Obviously, we know how the ninth inning played out. Well, what did you make of the decision? 95 pitches after 8? Go out there, Chris.
I would have gone nuts if he took him out of that game. I would have gone nuts if he takes him out there. There was no reason to take him out of that game. It's like somebody in baseball, and it's one of these nerdlings that sits in the back room, with their slide rule and their abacus and everything, and goes, at 100 pitches, a guy's arm falls off. We can't do this. So, Myron, we can't have our pitchers. When they hit 100 pitches, their arms fall off.
Who's Myron?
One of the guys.
Is Myron
I've seen them in the cafeteria sometimes. I point him out. I've said to Connor,
I know a Myron.
You
Myron
do?
Metcalf.
Myron Metcalf. You work with him on the network.
With him on ESPN.
Yeah, Myron kicked my backside. By the way, last night, real quick, Kruk used the ASS word 3 times last night.
Right? He was saying ass a lot.
He said it 3 times last night in the broadcast. I was a little surprised. A little surprised. But
it's not on the no-no list. He can
no,
get
it's
away
not.
with it.
It was just a little surprising. And there were a couple pauses by T-Mac, like tone it down there, Andrew Dice Clay. Come on now.
Dickory,
but I'm just exactly. But I'm saying Rob Thompson. But I'm like, Rob Thompson, look, when he does things well, I say when he does things well. I think that was a no-brainer. Even Rob was like, they didn't even have to nudge Rob for that one.
I was a little surprised, just because of the history of not letting guys
I didn't think he was coming out.
I didn't even think it was an issue that he was coming out.
But when he walked out, I love the pop of the crowd when, like, baseball's so beautiful when a fan base is locked in, when they realize things that are going on. It's like when the Braves series 2 years ago, when fans were chanting "We want Strider" the day before, like the game before.
Yes.
When they knew Game 1 was wrapped up, chanting "We want Strider."
That's wonderful.
Be ready.
Yes.
Tomorrow's going to be hell for you. I love when manager or fans are on the same page. When Sanchez walks out and the crowd pop, or sometimes when and
there was a little delay in him going out.
Yeah, there is.
Which was awesome.
Or sometimes when I think the manager does the cool thing of, all right, I'm going to let you go out there, get one more out, and then I'm going to pull you because I want the crowd to give you the standing ovation as you walk off the mound. Like there's certain things about baseball, the player and fan base relationship that's beautiful. And I thought that's always such a cool moment when the crowd realizes, oh my God, he's going back out there.
See, now I have a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
You had a conspiracy theory, I got one
too.
too.
It's a conspiracy theory Wednesday here on Kincade and Salciunas.
I think the crowd wanted to make sure that Rob was awake. So I think they were trying to make the extra noise to make sure that he was awake because nobody was over there to nudge him. Caleb Cotham has to come over and, sometimes they poke him with a pin just to make sure.
Or Or
my neuropathy. That's how they check my neuropathy. They stick me with a pin.
Or I will raise you another theory.
What's that?
Maybe Topper was on the same page as Bryce. Hey, Bryce, you still home because Brandon Marsh can't hit. Hey,
No.
Christopher, you go out there for a ninth inning because I can't go to my bullpen because they suck.
I love the fact, though, that to me, that any night that we don't have to see the bullpen, like Rob Thompson,
pleasure.
thank you very much. Thanks for that.
That's kind of the opposite of the way that I was thinking. When I said, I didn't think he was coming out, I didn't think he was coming out for the ninth. I thought he was done.
Yeah, I thought he was done too.
Oh, no, I didn't. I thought he was going out for the ninth.
Yeah, when you finish at 96 and you're sitting there 4-1 lead, so it is a save situation, but it's the least dire of the save situations.
No, a safe situation for the Phillies is a 6-1 lead.
Nah, I got
Seriously.
you. I'm talking by the letter of the law.
I'd be chewing my nails either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't have minded seeing Kirkering in that spot.
Nah, dude.
No, why use it? Why use it then?
No, that's a great point of why burn it?
And you get them the night off on Tuesday.
And
You get 'em-
Sanchez is on long rest too.
And you get a night off on Thursday now. So they're going to be really a rested bullpen heading into the weekend.
Well, and plus,
you're going
it's
you're going to Yankee Stadium, where I'm expecting the Yankees are going to get into the bullpen no matter if the Yankees are not playing as well as they had been.
Right.
The Yankees are going to still get into this bullpen.
And by the way, tonight it's not like Luzardo's been Mr. Consistent recently. So if he goes 5 or 6, you're going to have to.
No, they
turn
didn't
your
give him. They didn't give him the extra vacation time.
No, they did not.
Double vacation.
All right, so real quick, we'll get to our phones in the following segment, but an update on Arenado. So Noah Levick of NBC Sports Philadelphia has this. Arenado threw a pregame bullpen session yesterday, which Rob Thompson said, quote, went really well. Nola's been has not pitched since May 14th. My God. 42 pitches is what Arenado threw yesterday, and he threw all of his pitches, so it wasn't just 30 fastballs and 12 curveballs. He was throwing the sinker, the two-seamer, the curveball. He threw it all. Velocity was very good in the bullpen. This, according to Rob Thompson. They're going to take him to New York, and he's going to do another bullpen on Friday, and it'll be an extended bullpen. They're going to go with 2+ innings, so however they math that out. He's going to pitch 2+ innings in this bullpen, and then he's going to do a rehab start. So I don't know how many rehab starts Nola has to make. We've seen guys do one rehab start and then come up. I don't know how stretched out his arm is. I don't know how good he feels. Obviously, today will be an interesting factor of how does he feel waking up this morning. But maybe we see Arenado, maybe first, second week of August?
I'm very excited to hear that news. And because I do believe that Arenado can be a real boost to this team.
Absolutely.
Down the stretch.
As long as the velocity is, as Rob Thompson says, very good.
Well, by the way, if he isn't, we got major problems, folks.
Yeah, because now you got 5 more years of it.
We have a major issue.
Yeah.
2030?
Yeah.
Through 2030, I think it is?
For the future. But the beautiful thing about this year is you don't need Nola with the way some of these guys are throwing.
No, I got you.
So this is all gravy.
Yeah, but it's going to restrict what you do going forward.
Yeah.
That contract is going to be an albatross on what you do going forward.
Well, especially if we're talking about trading pitchers, right?
Right.
If let's say Mick Abel goes on the move, part of the reason why it was easy to say, trade that pitcher is because you have Wheeler, Nola, Sanchez, Painter's going to come up at some point. If Nola is a net negative, other than being an innings eater,
or if he's just unpitchable,
right? Which it got to that point.
It would be a disaster because John Middleton has shown he'll spend money.
Yeah.
But there are limits on what he's allowing his general manager, his president, to spend, his POBO to spend, and that would be a disaster. So root like hell for Aaron Nola to get this worked out. I believe that will be the case. I have a feeling Nola's going to come back and contribute.
Yeah,
Aaron Nola is an ace. I love you, Aaron.
And
you know that.
And you're not asking Nola to go 8.
No, I'm asking Aaron Nola if he could give you 5 innings, if he could give you 3 out of 4 games, like a quality type start.
Well,
That'd be
especially
awesome.
come playoff time, if you're piggybacking him with one of the guys that gets moved to the bullpen, right? If Luzardo's the guy that gets moved to the bullpen, and Nola can give you 5, and you're hoping Luzardo gives you 2, and then you have 2 innings left to work with. And I understand that this bullpen has not been something that you are confident in 2 innings, but that's what the trade deadline does for you. And who knows what David Robertson is whenever
we don't know,
makes
right?
his return. Yeah,
I'm all for that signing, though.
yeah, sure. I mean,
at this point, there's nothing to lose.
no, there's absolutely nothing to
Right.
lose. Like he's gonna, even if he's not great, he's probably still better than half this bullpen. Like that's how dire they were for adding to this bullpen. I just hope it's not just David Robertson. That's all.
It's not.
It better not be.
It can't be.
All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line for the first time this morning. Overall, Phillies discussion, but the Bryce Harper question that we have, when he is on, is there anyone more must-watch in Philadelphia right now? Answer that question for us at 610-632-0975. We'll check our text line. Also, there is a tweet of Connor's that I must rip in the following segment, Johnny.
What'd I do?
You should probably know what you did. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you. So text us at 610-632-0975. Well, this is what Dave Dombrowski is talking about when he brings up internal improvement for the lineup.
Yeah, I stand by that.
Okay. I don't even need you to put that out there because I don't need Dave Dombrowski on his burner account to be like, somebody gets it. That's right. Somebody gets it. Max Kepler should not be on this baseball team in the next week and a half. He should not be on this baseball team.
It should be gone.
The home run yesterday, great. Big part of that game yesterday. They win 4-1. Very little offense, especially from the bottom half of the order, 5 through 9. There was 2 total hits. Kepler had one of them. Good job, Max. And that's about it. I would not even put out a celebratory tweet in honor of Max Kepler.
It wasn't so much Max Kepler by himself, but the point is this, right? When Dave Dombrowski says that, people get so worried, oh, he's not going to make the trades he needs to at the deadline. Reality is they're probably making 3 trades at most. Maybe 4 in a crazy situation as number of players acquired. You have multiple holes. So at some point, the conversation is going to be whether you add that right-handed power bat, whether you add someone to balance out this lineup, whether you call up Crawford, the guys that are here are going to have to perform better than they have at points this year. At the start of last night's game, the offense looked much better.
All right, now here's where I will continue the conversation. That right-handed power bat, I think we all agree will probably be an outfielder, correct?
Yes.
Because the dream of Eugenio Suarez, not Eugenio, as Amy reminded me yesterday.
Yes.
The dream of acquiring him, it's not going to it's a dream, right? It's not going to happen. Like, I think the Yankees are going to do whatever they can.
Okay, but I don't understand is why the Phillies have more capital to get him. Now, I heard you say that. The Phillies have more capital to get him than the Yankees. So why are you so dismissive that that's going to be the case? Because you think they will use the capital to do the bullpen?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think that they will value...
That's the biggest
So
need
you
for
think
this
they
team.
will value
Yeah.
that they will go and use the capital to get the bullpen?
Yankees lineup minus Aaron Judge is atrocious. Like they need lineup help.
Right. The Phillies should eat this weekend.
So they're going to acquire a right-handed pop bat that will play the outfield. Castellanos will be your right fielder. Center field will most likely be Crawford. I would imagine they eventually call him up. And so your left field...
Listen to what you're saying.
Your left fielder will be this right-handed power bat that you acquire. Max Kepler has already voiced his frustration about not getting consistent playing time. You think he's going to be okay with being a platoon player, or you think he's going to be okay with being a full-time bench guy?
No, he won't like it.
So
no, he's got to go.
He has to go.
He's got to go.
If he was voicing his frustration weeks ago already, when he sat, back-to-back days because he can't hit left-handed pitching worth a you-know-what, I don't think he's then all of a sudden going to be like, oh, I'm okay with this decision that this organization made because I was told that I was going to be the starting left fielder. I don't need any nonsense. I already have Bohm's nonsense in the playoffs last year, Alvarado's nonsense with PEDs. I don't need Kepler all of a sudden being nonsensical with the I'm complaining about playing time situation.
Right, but the timing of this, I think, is pointing you too much in the Kepler direction. Like they brought up on the broadcast last night, Nick Castellanos has, I think, the second most runners left on base in Major League Baseball.
I thought it was number 1.
No, he's behind Anthony Volpe of
okay.
the Yankees.
He was the next Jeter. Yeah,
Yep.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, but the thing is, like Castellanos RBI single, I know it was like one of those low and away breaking balls that he just kind of pokes
a
out.
blooper.
But
Yep.
still, runner in scoring position drives him in. So it's just like the overall performance in the first 2 innings last night. We'll not talk about the last 7. Was really good offense, good base running, great situational hitting, a little bit of power shown off. It was what you wanted to see. And part of Dave Dombrowski saying internal improvement from the lineup is not to safety net trades. It's more of a necessity whether they make the trades or not.
Yeah, I get it. And we've talked about how Harper needed to be Bryce Harper for this team in order to win. I'm not going to get fooled by one swing of the bat by Max Kepler.
Exactly. Can't do
And
that.
Dave Dombrowski better not get fooled by one swing of the bat. And Dave Dombrowski should realize that Marsh went 0 for 3. Otto Kemp does not have any pop, and Bryson Stott must be a platoon guy if you don't find a better option, which I doubt that they will, but he's got to be a platoon guy moving forward. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor? It's 610-632-0975.
Yeah, so we have our friends checking in on the Harper question that you asked and the steal of home. Joe the Cynic will lead us off today and says the Marsh at bat may be 5% of concern, but it's definitely Harper playing hero ball. We've seen him do that before.
Yeah, it's definitely the hero. He's a reckless base runner. And yes, it's entertaining to watch. But it's frustrating as hell because he's not intelligent with the base run. That is not a smart base running decision at any time.
His explanation makes it seem smart. And again, my conspiracy theory of I don't trust Brandon Marsh.
I don't think you. I don't think and Connor, I think you agree. I don't think that's a conspiracy theory.
No, that's part of the equation.
I think it's part of the equation of what Bryce was thinking at the time. And so I'm not going to be critical of what his mind, the thought process in his mind, I'm not critical of him. The execution of saying there are impulses we have in life, and there are times when you just got to go, my impulse is to do this, just don't do it. Like,
right.
I thought we have to have it in marriage with my wife or I when we are passengers in each other's cars. Because literally, if there's ever been a thing that we've ever argued about in our marriage, very few things do we literally argue about.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to drive. And so it is always, before we even leave the neighborhood, it's, okay, honey, we got to drive down to the shore.
Yeah.
I'm driving. Okay, right? Just a reminder, don't tell me how to drive. Don't tell me to get in that lane. Don't tell me I'm going too close to this car. Please don't do that. I have to do the same to her too.
Yeah,
Don't. Now with me, I don't say it, but I'll do she'll go, you don't have to grip the thing above the door.
Yeah.
So I think there's impulses you have in your brain. Don't act on them.
My mom used to do that all the time.
What, the old bleep handle?
Yeah.
Yeah, up there. Yeah.
What else are you on?
Because she thinks that's passive aggressive, and maybe it is. I don't know.
No, maybe you're just flexing your hand out. We also have someone checking in, no name on this one. They say what John said about Stott, I think, is why they're hesitant to get rid of Aiden Miller. He'll be ready during the Turner contract, and then they can move Turner to second base. So that's why they may not want to trade him at the deadline.
I think they'd be hesitant to trade him because they think he's going to be a really good baseball player. That's number one.
Aiden Miller's a better prospect than Bryson Stott.
Sure.
So, when he's a better prospect than Bryson Stott was. So.
Yeah. I just, it's a shame because I never thought he was going to be a leadoff hitter.
They were saying that he was going to win a batting title.
But the batting title thing, the
Phillies people were trying to sell
I don't like to ever go that far. I was just, excited for a 280 hitter. I'm not getting that. What am I getting right now? 228. There's an 8 in it. 228.
Yeah, if you're dyslexic, he's raking.
Coming up next, we'll check more of our text messages. We'll reset today's topics. Also, Eagles reported to camp yesterday. Yesterday's show, we talked about how far this Eagles team can go. Well, how do they get there? I mentioned it yesterday. You can't copy-paste and expect the same result. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sanchez goes complete game. I'm Connor Thomas, and Christopher Sanchez was awesome last night. He threw the second complete game of the year for the Phillies. Zach Wheeler had the first. This one also a 12-strikeout performance. No walks, 1 earned. Very similar to Wheeler's start against the Reds earlier this year. The Phils scored 2 in each of the first 2 innings, and that was all they needed for a 4-1 win. Kyle Schwarber hit his 33rd homer of the year. Max Kepler went yard. That was a welcome sight to see. But the real story was Sanchez on the mound, and Rob Thompson talked about his growth as a professional pitcher.
Just a fantastic performance. And he's determined he wants to get it done. He wants to finish. He doesn't like coming out of games. If he's in trouble, he wants to get himself out of trouble. He's really grown up in the last couple of years.
He certainly has, and the Phillies are going to need him as they continue to try and make their push for October. Game 3 with the Red Sox is tonight at 7 p.m. The Phillies have already won the series. They go for the sweep. Jesus Luzardo faces off against Lucas Giolito. The Eagles had their first practice of training camp today, marking the start of football season here in Philadelphia. Nick Sirianni will meet with the media coming up at 9:30. Owen Tippett of the Flyers joins us at 7:30. Adam Schefter of ESPN at 7:55. This update's brought to you by Rapid Radios, their instant push-and-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Early Birds with Andrew DeCecco.
Tanner McKee.
We're here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5. The Fanatic on an Adam Schefter Wednesday. Shefty joins us today at 7:55. But before that, 7:30, Owen Tippett will join us. Today at 10 o'clock, the single game tickets for all 2025-26 Flyers home games will go on sale. So 10 a.m. today. Full NHL season schedule dropped last week on Wednesday the 16th. The Flyers will start the season on the road against the Stanley Cup winning Florida Panthers on Thursday, October 9th.
I didn't like that,
Flyers.
by the way.
Easy win.
I
did not like that pull on the schedule.
Nah, the Panthers will be too emotional during the banner drop. The Flyers steal game.
It sometimes is a distracted night for the team that gets it. So
what does that say about the Eagles?
No, that's different. Football's different. After a quick trip to Carolina, they'll face off against the Hurricanes on Saturday, October 11th. Then the Flyers will return home Monday, October 13th for the club's annual home opener, and will once again take on the Panthers. So Canes, Panthers to start the season. For fans looking to secure your seat at the home opener or any Flyers home contest this season, visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Again, they go on sale coming up at 10 o'clock. Owen Tippett will join us coming up at 7:30. We started the show talking about the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez dazzling last night. He is under club control through the 2030 season.
Ooh.
Which is just unbelievable. Yesterday, 9 innings, complete game, just allows 1 run, strikes out 12, 0 walks. Harper, the fun moment, stealing home. Our question today to start, when Bryce Harper is on, is there any other player in Philadelphia that is more must watch? What else do we have on the text line at 610-632-0975? And then to start the 7 o'clock hour, we'll start opening up our Eagles discussion. As they reported to camp yesterday, Nick Sirianni speaks today at 9:30. You'll hear it here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And we have a conversation based off of something that was discussed yesterday about how you can't copy and paste a season and try to expect the same result. So what can continue, what can't continue? We'll discuss that coming up in a few minutes. But what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, this texter checks in, no name on this one, but they bring up a potential trade with the Cardinals, and they say, would Nolan Arenado and Helsley really cost that much? That seems doable to me.
Look, I would do it. Nolan Arenado is Zach LaVine. I've been wanting these guys for like the last 6 years in Philadelphia, and it seems like their names always pop up, and it never happens. Arenado plays third. Alec Bohm, this is the Suarez situation. Arenado plays third. Bohm goes to first. Harper goes to the outfield. There's your right-handed pop.
Stop exciting me.
Yeah, it's
stop exciting me.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either. But you know who I can tell you is a friends with one of the Cardinals broadcasters.
Okay.
Said, are you talking Ranger Suarez? Are you giving up Ranger Suarez? Because the Cardinals are going to make a run at Ranger Suarez if he hits free agency.
Yeah, so they get him into the building and then they don't.
The Cardinals are going to make a run at Ranger Suarez in free agency.
Yeah, he ain't moving.
Well, if you're not giving up Ranger Suarez, then no dice on getting that deal done.
Can we interest you in a lightly used Mick Abel?
Yeah, that's not happening. But Ranger Suarez is one because I tried to get this Cardinals broadcaster to try to broker a deal. I tried to get his son to broadcast it, who broadcasts for the A's, to try to do a deal with, see if there's anything with the A's we can work. But says, are you talking Ranger Suarez? Because the Cardinals would definitely make a deal with that.
So you say he ain't moving. And I get it. For this run, I understand why you would not want to move him. I don't want to move him. But you get Helsley, who solidifies the back end of your bullpen.
And Arenado?
And you got 2.5 full years of Arenado because you got – and his money goes down, by the way.
His money is down
so
in the last, right?
26 is $16 million, 27 is $15 million.
Okay, I am doing – if you said to me –
$15 million is 5 more than Max Kepler. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an expensive addition.
Connor says no. You say – capital N, no.
Yeah, capital N, capital O, capital every letter in the word.
If you were able to go, if I said to you right now, Ranger Suarez and Aiden Miller for Nolan Arenado and Helsley.
No shot. Not even a chance. Ranger Suarez is a hang-up guy.
All right, hold on.
Wow. I got to tell you, you're getting
John Kincade got deservedly questioned for saying Mick Abel was a hang-up guy. You can't say
an expiring contract guy
who's a hang-up guy.
Who collapses in the second half often.
Well, I'm not even going there.
Yeah, but he does, though.
I know.
When he gets off the hot starts,
but in the playoffs, he's one of the best pitchers.
Does.
An ERA of 1?
He
now,
does.
It's Wheeler, Sanchez, then you're rolling the dice if Nola comes back, and then Luzardo, you never do the guy goes to the bullpen thing. I just can't say hang up.
How many teams do better? I would ask Connor this first, as the Locked On Phillies podcast does. Who, if you go Wheeler Sanchez first 2 games?
Yeah.
Do you feel there's any series where the Phillies will at least not be a wash in starting pitching matchup?
No, those 2 match up with any other top 2 in the league.
Okay. So aren't you willing to take a step back at 3 to fix 2 of your major problems?
No, they are major problems.
No, because you don't have to. You can fix those problems without moving Ranger Suarez. You'll have to.
Well, I got to hear what the problems are, though.
What? Bullpen?
Yeah, I got to hear.
Right-handed power bat.
But I got to hear what your solutions are to fix them.
Trade prospects.
But who you're getting. That's what I got to hear is who you're getting.
I mean, you could listen, there are guys out there. Taylor Ward is not going to cost you Ranger Suarez. Yohan Duran is going to cost you a bunch of prospects, but you don't have to move like a major league guy. My thing with Ranger Suarez, Andrew, what is your premise for why you want to make trades at the deadline? Because you can't waste this rotation.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do to fix those problems is then waste your rotation by trading your third best starting pitcher. That makes no sense.
No, I get where you're coming from, but automatic hang up for a guy that is on an expiring contract.
Telling you,
for 2, it's
Connor. I'm upset if I'm your owner and I heard you do an interview. You go on Kincade Salciunas and you said that, or ever oh no, that's a no-brainer. We're not talking about, and that kind of deal was on the table. You and I'd be having breakfast.
Look, I've said to you, I will be sad the day he's not on the Phillies anymore. Sad. I love Ranger Suarez. I just can't go automatic hang up when I know he's going to be gone.
What type of World Series contending team trades a player like Ranger Suarez?
Trades their third starter on an expiring contract,
right,
to fix 2 major problems that they've got.
Yeah,
the big right-handed bat with some pop, and the back end of their bullpen fixes.
And by the way, he's an incredible third baseman.
By the way, you're a better. Are you a better? Okay, do you have more of a chance to win a World Series if I stay put with Ranger Suarez, or I fix it with that deal, before and have my prospects as a franchise? I've got controllable talent at third base.
Yeah,
and I've got a controllable talent at the.
He's a free agent.
He's expiring too.
That's why he's been available since the season started, despite the Cardinals somewhat being in contention. Look, we love the name, right? And you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. This is the beauty of sports talk radio. We get a text like that, and man, the conversation changes. We love Ranger. We know Ranger. If I said to you, Connor, names aside, the third pitcher in a rotation for a starting third baseman and a top reliever, you would go, yeah, of course.
I would look at the numbers of the 2.66 ERA for your third starter, and I would say, hell no. A World Series winning team does not trade at the deadline a starting pitcher with a 2.66 ERA.
A World Series contending team also doesn't have a giant black hole at the back end of their bullpen and a terrible lineup.
Which is why you move prospects.
I'll also give you simple math here. All right? And maybe it's too simplified. I understand it. 1 game versus 5.
Gotcha.
Because in a 5-game series, Suarez will most likely pitch once. Arenado would play in all 5. Helsley would probably pitch in 3, 4, depending on the situation. In a 7-game series, it's 2 versus 7, 2 versus 5. Ranger Suarez, as much as I love him and as much of an impact, because it's 6 innings, at least, we would think, unless they do the weird 3-inning thing and then the bullpen game, which they can't do with this team, those other guys would be more impactful over the course of a series than Ranger Suarez.
No, I got you. But the only two guys right now, if Ranger Suarez is gone, that I trust to make a postseason start, like trust, are Sanchez and Wheeler.
Yeah, and those guys would pitch in multiple games.
The thing is, if Sanchez and Wheeler pitch their games, and you got a right-handed power bat to support him in the lineup, what makes the lineup better so they get run support, and you got a guy who could potentially close out the game at the back end, then you're a better team.
Right, but let's say that
than waiting for your third starter to do something.
Let's say that the team that wins the NL Central has a better record than the Phillies, and the Dodgers win the West, and they have a better record. You're playing then in a wild card series, and then a divisional series, and then a championship series, and then a World Series with two pitchers carrying you from the starting rotation. That is not enough. Ranger Suarez cannot lead this team. He needs to be here.
You're putting cart before the horse. I got to worry about other things first. I got to worry about the major holes on my team.
You're creating another one by moving Ranger.
I don't think you're creating a hole. I don't think talk about a hole.
It would be a step down for sure.
A step down, but if you're talking about 1, 2, 3 rotations, because when teams talk about their playoff rotations, they don't talk about fourth starters. So if you list 1, 2, 3 for every one of the contenders, and you go, okay, we got Wheeler 1, Sanchez 2, then whoever we put at 3. That's going to be as good as any other team in the playoffs.
But your lineup is not as good as a lot of teams.
But if you add, but then
what I'm saying
you're adding Arenado. Right. If you put Wheeler, Sanchez 1, 2, whoever you put at 3, Luzardo if you put at 3, I'm going to tell you that 1, 2, 3 is going to be as good as any other team in the playoffs.
Connor, I get your concern.
I get where you're at.
I just can't go hang up. Like I know I'm Mr. Trade Everybody, but I got two hang up guys over here.
Well, let's be fair. Ranger hang-up is a little different than McAble hang-up.
Well, Abel's going to be here for the long run.
Because this guy, you got Suarez, you got 2 months of.
You're not trying to get the value out of Ranger Suarez is he can help you win a World Series this year.
So could Nolan Arenado and Ryan Helsley.
Yes, they can help you win, and you have 2 major holes you're fixing.
I'm not taking the only strength of this team and diminishing.
Wait a minute, you get. I mean, you're putting Harper back in the outfield.
Yeah, the only strength, but you're making the other ones better.
Your outfield gets considerably better. Your
lineup gets considerably better.
Your bullpen gets considerably better.
How do you think this team feels moving Ranger? You remember what happened with the Brewers where they traded Josh Hader in a contending year?
How do I feel when they get when
Hader could pitch every day?
And when
pitches once.
When Nolan Arenado walks in that room? Hey, they already know that Rangers walking out of that locker room at the end of the year.
You can get them without moving Ranger Suarez. You have the prospects. Do not trade a guy who's got a 2.66 ERA at the major league level this year. That's dumb for a contending team.
Crazy. You're losing them in a couple months. Crazy. I wouldn't hang up the phone, Connor. All right, coming up next, the Eagles discussion that we were going to get into. You can't copy-paste. So what can they replicate? What can't they replicate? We'll get into that coming up next. This is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, my name is Phil E., and for most of my sports fan life, I've been suffering from sports
The Mike Missanelli Show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Coming up at 10, the one and only Mike Missanelli. Now more of Kincade and Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The 7 a.m. hour of Kincade and Salciunas is brought to you by the Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the Bet Parks app and play all your favorite casino games. Bet Parks has a great offer for new users. Got to be 21, Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Oh, the YouTube chat is buzzing after that trade discussion.
And where is the gang leaning this morning? I did not get to see.
A little bit of both. Chris Miller is very active, saying that Nolan Arenado is washed. It's not like he has 50 home runs this year.
That is the truth, but washed?
I love that at one point he said Connor is actually right for once.
My best friend Chris.
Chris hasn't gotten back on his Commanders bet. I'm sure he's still formulating it. He hasn't gotten back to me yet.
Yes, I do need to hear from Chris.
Chris is going to get back on that Commanders bet.
It's odd that he went so quiet.
He's not going to look. Chris is not going to run and hide on this one. He's going to make the bet because he was talking big on the Commanders. So he'll make a bet, and he loves the Burrow as much as I do.
Damn right.
One of his favorite spots, one of my favorite spots. Go place a nice little wager on who wins the NFC East. Those big bad Commanders. Here they come, the Commanders. He's been listening to too much Mike Missanelli and our man Bill Colarulo.
Maybe. Now he hangs on every word because he said, I never said wash. All right. Sorry that you didn't say the word wash. You said this isn't 2017 anymore. So forgive me. When you say something like that, that makes me think that you think he's washed.
He's on pace for 78 runs batted in and 18 RBI. 18 home runs.
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
That's not great.
I can understand where Chris is coming from, that it's not Nolan Arenado baseball card that we think of. And the power pop is not what you really are shopping for.
But I'm telling you right now, Arenado to third, Bohm to first,
he is
Harper to right,
he's a superior
to left.
fielder.
Yeah.
He is a superior fielder by a mile.
So these corners, think the corner, even though you say what you want about Arenado, first base is Bohm, third base is Arenado, right field is Harper, left field is Castellanos. That is greater than...
It's much better.
Kemp.
Well, Kemp
until Bohm comes back. Harper, Castellanos, and then Kepler, Marsh.
Right, it's much better.
Whatever you want to throw out there in left field, it's better.
You could get Nolan Arenado. I believe you could get Nolan Arenado for a lot less than that. In a deal, by the way, though, is that Aiden Miller. So I go back over my text. Aiden Miller would have to be involved in any deal with the Cardinals because they would be looking to replace
Nolan
Arenado.
Yeah.
And they have already potentially had scouts look at Aiden Miller.
Okay.
Yeah, like if
they're talking a deal with if you hear any rumors of a deal with the Cardinals, expect that Aiden Miller is probably a part of it.
Yeah, like if you go Miller-Abel, you move your second best pitching prospect, and you also move a guy that Arenado. Basically, you're accelerating Aiden Miller's timeline to get current guy at major league level at that position. That I'm interested in. I still don't love it. But
he's probably not. This is just one man's opinion around the Cardinals that they're probably Abel is not going to move the needle.
Yeah,
Miller is definitely somebody that they would look at, and getting rid of the $30 million the next 2 years is something that they absolutely would be considering.
Look, it's silly season. We got eight days.
I wonder if Miller and something else like some other prospects could get you Arenado and
Helsley.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe. We're 8 days away. 8 days away, 6 o'clock.
I didn't realize he was a 10-time Gold Glove winner.
Oh, yeah. He's
a fantastic fielder, but I didn't realize he was if someone had said to me Gold Gloves for him, I would have guessed 6.
Isn't Platinum better? He's a Platinum.
He may be the best defensive third baseman in the history of the sport.
He's 6-time Platinum Glove.
6-time.
What did you say?
He may be the best third baseman in the history of the sport defensively.
Excuse me. You're in the town that has Mike Schmidt.
I understand.
And you see, this is where the age thing. This is where the age thing comes in. Mike Schmidt
is the best third baseman
Brooks
of all
Robinson.
time.
Yeah, So don't bring him up with Mike Schmidt.
I said defensively.
Mike
Nolan
Schmidt.
Arenado
No, what I'm telling you is
defensively.
Mike Schmidt.
Okay.
Mike Schmidt and Brooks Robinson.
Even though he doesn't have the awards, I would also lean Manny, to be honest.
Yeah, Manny's
oh gosh,
a monster
Manny
too.
was a freaking monster.
Manny Machado's incredible.
Oh my gosh!
All right, so Eagles discussion, real quick.
Even though he's gotten lazy,
yeah, well,
he's gotten quite lazy.
They're still winning there in San Diego. I think the move worked out for both teams.
I think it did. Yeah.
Phillies, Harper, and Machado.
I think they're
San
happy.
Diego.
They've had
Yeah,
some.
I
They've
think
had
so.
some success.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday, that you can't copy paste, and so you posed the question: what can be replicated, what can't be?
Yes.
Now, I've said this numerous times. I don't think they can rely on 2,000-yard rusher Saquon Barkley, and I think they need Jalen Hurts to throw more this year. So I've been saying that since, March. So that's my answer.
So your least likely thing that can be replicated is
how the offense was run last year, period.
Okay, do you think they will be the most run-dominant offense in the NFL this year?
They could be toward the top, but I don't think like Jalen Hurts. They beat the Ravens running the ball 18 times or throwing the ball 18 times last year. When you're playing teams like the Bills, even though you may think that game might not mean anything for Buffalo,
yeah. No. Let's assume that it means something.
Yeah,
like when we're having this discussion.
I don't think some of these behemoth opponents that they're going to be playing. I don't think they can win throwing the ball less than 20 times this year. Last year it worked.
You're talking about because of the opponents.
Yeah.
You make a good point there, absolutely.
And so that's my number one thing. I want to hear your guys' next. We have Owen Tippett coming up at 7:30, so we'll have a few minutes before Tippett comes on to continue this conversation about the Philadelphia Eagles of 2025. What can they replicate? What can't they replicate or expect to replicate following their Super Bowl season? Because I don't believe you can just copy-paste. I'll hear John and Connor's answers coming up next. We want to hear yours as well. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A huge start for Sanchez. I'm Connor Thomas, and Christopher Sanchez went complete game. 1 earned last night, 12 strikeouts. It was an unbelievable start for him, and he led the Phillies to their second victory of the series, their first series win in the last 4 opportunities. The Phils scored 2 in each of the first 2 innings. That was all they needed for a 4-1 win. Kyle Schwarber hit his 33rd homer of the year. Max Kepler also went yard, but Rob Thompson, well, he talked about the main event last night, and that was Christopher Sanchez's dominance on the mound.
Just a fantastic performance, and he's determined. He wants to get it done. He wants to finish. He doesn't like coming out of games. If he's in trouble, he wants to get himself out of trouble. He's really grown up in the last couple of years.
Well, Topper let him go last night, and he rewarded him with a complete game. It was a great performance. And Game 3 is tonight at 7 p.m. with Jesus Luzardo on the mound, looking to follow that up, facing off against Lucas Giolito. The Phils go for the sweep. Eagles have their first practice of training camp today. It's officially football season in Philly. Nick Sirianni meets with media at 9:30. We'll talk to Owen Tippett of the Flyers coming up next. Adam Schefter at 7:55. This update's brought to you by Rapid Radios, their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage for a limited time. Get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Andrew DeCecco.
The player who I'm most interested in and
defensive coordinator. He loves to teach the disruptive nature, and his secondaries usually get better.
Yeah.
So they're younger, they're more athletic. That could change, but points allowed is the least likely thing they will replicate. They're not going to be a top 5 defense.
Okay.
That's the least. Most likely, though, they're going to be the most dominant team on the ground, and I believe that they will be able to. I do believe they're going to be able to win games.
I'm sure there's going to be some. I just don't think, like last year, it was like game plan is run the football. We knew that from like week 6 until the Pittsburgh game.
The 2 years they've gone to the Super Bowl under Nick Sirianni, that's been the game plan that has won for them often.
But in 2022, Hurts was throwing the ball really well.
He was MVP.
The first 6 weeks of the season this year, of the 2024 season, the year they win the Super Bowl, the year he was the Super Bowl MVP, he was not good the first 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he was.
Like they had to
Let's
go
put it
to
this
the
way.
ground. The lineman had a coup and made that happen.
He looked shaky as hell. Yeah, he did. He looked shaky.
Let's head to the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. Single game tickets go on sale today at 10 o'clock for the 2025-26 Flyers season. And joining us now on the Comcast Business Hotline, Owen Tippett on Kincade and Salciunas. Owen, good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Excited to have you on. Excited for another season as you guys continue to grow. You've now spent 3 full seasons with the Flyers. Obviously, you get traded over here in 2022. You've seen the growth of this team. How excited are you to take that next step forward as an organization?
Yeah, really excited. I think you said it best. Obviously, the growth we've taken over the last couple of years as a group, and obviously every year a chance to move forward in that. So I think coming into the year, there's a lot of excitement in the room.
Oh, and durability has been a big part of your game since you got here, and that's one of the things I was like, is this guy going to be able to, not only perform for this club, but also to be able to be on the ice? You've been amazing about being available to play. So I know you're heading to the gym this morning in the middle of the summer, getting yourself ready. What has it been that has been allowed you to stay so healthy, too?
Yeah, I think, it's tough sometimes with the schedule being, all around and trying to get ready for each and every game. So I think anytime you can kind of prepare and make sure your body's feeling right and giving you the best chance to do your best and play at your best.
You signed your extension back in 2024. You've also seen some other of your teammates get extensions. Cam York, 5 years. Noah Cates, 4 years. When you have a group of guys that are under contract for years to come, how comfortable does that make you saying, all right, this is home, now it's time to, go to the next level and try to bring a cup home one day?
Yeah, I think it adds to the excitement. I mean, anytime you can lock up guys like that and, build a core group and, have guys under contract for that many years, you're going to have the same group for the most part. And, it gives you that mindset of you can build together and ultimately work towards that goal of winning.
The goal scoring was down a little bit last year. What do you put that towards? And do you think your overall game, though, took some steps forward?
Yeah, I think, obviously it's a tough league, and anytime you get to, go out there and try and score, it's obviously a tough job, but, there's going to be years that you kind of dip, and obviously you're looking to build off that, but, I think overall, just each and every year you're trying to get more consistent and, build on your last year's totals.
Owen Tippett with us here on the Comcast Business Hotline. You have a new head coach to play for, and Rick Tocchet. How much have you been able to communicate with Rick Tocchet, and what are you excited about for playing for your new head coach?
Yeah, I spoke to him just after he got hired, and obviously he's excited about the group just as we are. It's going to be exciting, and I think anytime you have a new coach and, some new guys coming in, it's an opportunity to kind of build together and, get things rolling and keep building.
Do you think that your team as a group, the core that you've got right now, do you think it has an identity? Do you think it has an evolving identity? And more importantly, what do you want the identity of this club to be?
Yeah, 100%. I think, we built that over the last couple of years, having Torts, and I think he's the perfect guy to kind of come in and bring that mindset into our group. And, I think that's going to have a lasting impression. And, just having the mindset of, every time you come into Philadelphia, if you're going to play the Flyers, it's going to be a tough night. And, ultimately we're going to try and be that team every single day.
Flyers fans always do a great job packing that building. But have you got a sense, have you heard any stories about how great this city is when the Flyers are playing playoff hockey? Because it's one of my favorite times. It's obviously been a few years since we've seen that. Have you heard any stories that makes you think, I can't wait to get back there?
Yeah, it's been discussed in the room as well. Anytime, you see this city for, other sports and when, the Phillies are doing well and the Eagles are doing well and the 76ers are doing well and, ultimately, and obviously that's our goal, and we're going to keep building back there, and I can't.
We're losing you there. Owen, we appreciate your time
thanks,
this morning.
Owen. Your line's
man.
dropping out. Enjoy the gym.
Enjoy the gym.
And we'll talk again down the road.
Yeah, and grab some great tickets today from the Flyers.
Yeah, coming up at
grab
10
some
o'clock.
individual game tickets available today.
All right, 10 o'clock.
So pick your spots. No Black Friday game, obviously.
Yes.
Since the Eagles squatted on that one. Yeah, well, the NFL did.
NFL don't give a damn about your traditions.
Yeah, the NFL
man.
wanted that one.
Oh, NBA Christmas Day? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they took that one, I'm glad they didn't take Christmas.
Watch. They'll make a game on July 4th and say, go ahead, baseball. We're going to start the season. One random game, July 4th.
Well, considering baseball has been stupidly.
Absolutely.
As the commissioner of baseball, if I was the commissioner of baseball, no team would have off on Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July.
And you're starting games at 11 a.m. and going through the night.
Yes, you're having
That's how
it
should be.
It is all day long, but the Phillies will have 2 of the national holidays off. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, because when you think of Philadelphia, you don't think of the United States of America. Damn
no,
it.
jeez.
All right, thanks.
Can I salute, please? Thanks, Owen.
Thanks to Owen Tippett for joining the show. I'm so bummed out that his last answer got cut out because he was talking about how much they see this city get behind the Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles, that they want to get that feeling. And, man, I can't wait. Like, playoff hockey in this city.
Oh, my gosh.
Even the years where you don't totally feel it, it's still a great atmosphere. And that's just been
even
gone.
a first round series.
Yeah.
There's one thing I love about, as a fan, when you don't have to work, going to a playoff game. And it's going to sound stupid. But there's nothing like wearing shorts.
Dude, I know, I love it.
And your jersey.
Oh, dude, John.
Wear like a jersey.
That's not stupid at all.
A jersey and shorts?
Yeah.
Where you're you get to have a pregame cocktail.
Not stupid because you're not freezing outside.
It's so much fun.
Like, this is why, not to go back to the new stadium conversation.
Sure.
Remember, but I can't tailgate. Who's tailgating a Sixers or Flyers game when it's 20 degrees outside?
You know what you will be doing? I promise you this. When the battery kicks in.
Right, that's a little bit of a different story.
When the battery kicks in, you're going to be getting to every sporting event down there earlier. And those of you who are younger, you'll be staying later.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I promise you.
Yeah.
It will be friends and groups of friends rolling into places. Oh, and by the way, it's going to be where people go and congregate to watch games on game days that don't have tickets.
Right. I went to...
Every place is going to be packed.
I went to Wrigleyville as a...
oh, my God.
I think I was literally 21 when I went. And Yawkey Way when I was 23.
Awesome.
I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. I needed to be drug home because
it's awesome.
I didn't want to
Because you couldn't walk.
Because I couldn't walk. It's going to be really cool.
It's going to be so much fun what they do.
But yeah.
And there'll still be all the tailgating for the Eagles.
But I don't think you're crazy.
See?
No, being comfortable while tailgating is the best.
It's fun, though, to be able to...
Football, you power through it. The other teams, you don't. Like, nobody tailgate a cold weather baseball game.
It's February. Let's tailgate before the Flyers.
Sounds horrible.
When I do see someone with their trunk open and they are tailgating, there is a mad level of respect.
Oh, absolutely, I respect
But I look
it.
at them and I say, you are nuts, too.
I don't act like I'm some tough guy.
We had beers with the Dunn family in the parking lot for a Sixers game.
Yes, we
before,
did.
So
That
it happened.
And my brother-in-law, Steve.
And
That was a
Steve.
good time. That was
You
knockout.
said Steve's nuts.
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Steve's great.
That was knockout a few years ago. All right, coming up next, we get back to some Phillies talk. There were some things I missed yesterday from Dave Dombrowski. That I cannot wait to read for John Kincade to get his reaction next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have
40 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Thank you again to Owen Tippett. And thank you to the Flyers. They dropped off some gritty donuts. They look pretty awesome.
I just crushed one last segment. They taste as good as they look.
By the way, the Federal donuts are delicious.
Yeah,
and they're
Federal
gritty.
donuts.
So you'll love them.
Top tier, man. Absolutely.
By the way, and
tier.
I took the advice of supposed to, even though you're working hard and you're doing all the right things, the gritty donut dragged me in this morning.
You got to treat yourself every once in a while. I told you I'm on a little cut down thing for Clearwater. Get the beach bar going. I'm still treating myself like twice a week.
Who are you doing that for? For me?
Yeah.
For who?
I want you and Andrew DeCecco to like my body.
We're on a show diet right now. We're cooking.
Damn right. Well, you got the Ibiza that you got to get ready.
Damn right.
For.
I got pictures I got to take.
Well, we're 65 days to getting on that plane to Tampa.
Damn right. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
All right. So Dave Dombrowski spoke to the media the other day, and we played some of the clips, and we reacted yesterday. Now, we played some of the clips that were available. Right? That were online, and then we reacted to it. So I was listening to the Mike Missanelli show yesterday, and I didn't realize that there was more.
There were more clips available?
No, not clips. Mike Missanelli, he knows how to read. That's something that I struggle with. So Todd Zalecki always does a great job covering the Phillies.
He does.
He put out like a big story on everything that Dave Dombrowski
He knows how to read
talk
too.
About. Yes, he does, and write.
He does.
He
really
He knows how to do both. Struggle with both of those too.
He's a 5-tool player.
Hell yeah, he is. So Johnny, a couple of things that I want to read to you.
Okay.
And I want your reaction.
Oh, no.
We'll start with this one. Dombrowski said he has no regrets with how the organization constructed its bullpen in the offseason. It chose to sign 2 relievers to 1-year deals rather than sign others to multi-year deals, such as Jeff Hoffman.
Okay, so in other words, you're doubling down on something that we already know has been it's already, the jury's in. You were wrong.
Yes.
You
lose,
sir. Your thought process was wrong. That's already legislated. We already know it. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
All right, there's more. This
no.
is hilarious to me.
Oh, no.
Dave. Yeah,
Come on,
you're,
Dave.
You're a smart man.
He is a smart guy.
I may not be as bright, but don't treat me like I'm a dumb child. He was asked about Jose.
Is he talking about you or is he talking about Dave? Go on.
He was asked about Jose Alvarado.
Okay.
Because he is expected to rejoin in August 19th. If, the team wants it. August 19th is when he'll be available to return. Quote, he was asked about whether or not he's going to be throwing as hard. Quote, I don't think that will happen with this case at all. I know what the situation was. I don't think that the PEDs were assisting him at all.
What?
How can you say that with a straight face?
Okay, look. I had to take performance enhancers to recover from my cancer.
Correct.
Dave, did he say what? Don't talk to me like I'm a child?
No, I don't want to be talked to like I'm a child.
Okay, well, guess what? Is that, Mr. Dombrowski, with all due respect, you're 100% wrong when you make that statement.
It's a stupid statement.
It's in the name of the drug.
Yes, performance.
It helps you.
Drugs.
What it did was it took me from 14 months of almost inactivity.
Mm-hmm.
It allowed me to now where I can go out and I can walk 9 or 18 holes of golf and go out and do the things, be able to get back into the gym, be able to get it. I had to take drugs to do that, to get started to do that. That's what you do. When you need a jump start, that's what you do. That's what he did. It's in the name.
Yeah.
Performance enhancing. That's what he did.
And by
the way, he cheated. His sport doesn't allow it. He cheated. He didn't do and all he has to do, and I know this, and Dave Dombrowski knows this.
Mm-hmm.
Every player in the Players Association, I say to you, Andrew, I got this drug that I want you to take. Got this thing I want you to take. Oh, really? Is it legal? Oh, I don't know. Okay. Take a picture of it. Take the front. Take the back. Take the label.
All the stuff that's in it.
Send it right in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
You take it. You send it right to the Players Association. Their doctors check it, and their doctors document that you did the process, that you said, before I take this, I want to know, and the Phillies doctors are involved in it.
Yeah.
So this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was trying to bypass the system. He was trying to cut corners. He was cheating.
Remember this past spring training when he arrived to camp, we all said, wow, he looks great.
Yes.
And when he was pitching so well to start the season, we were going, all right, maybe the losing of the weight helps him pitch on back-to-back days. Or maybe his arm is as strong as the first day of the week as it is now the third or fourth game of the week, right? Why is it as strong? Probably because of the performance-enhancing drugs that he took that were illegal. So to say we don't think it helped him at all is a stupid thing to say from a president of baseball operations.
By the way, the weight loss, I can tell you that walking 18 holes, pushing my golf cart with my golf clubs on it, that when I was heavier and not in good shape, that absolutely would have been impossible. It wouldn't have been impossible.
It would have been more difficult.
It would have been more difficult, and my performance wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah.
Like to be able to do the things. That's ridiculous. Dave Dombrowski, seriously, that's so ridiculous.
It's dumb. I'll save the best for last here.
Oh, no.
He was asked about Justin Crawford.
Oh, here we go. Punxsutawney Phillies.
We just haven't had the right time to do it yet.
Yeah.
He's a person that's always in our minds. We need to kind of just sort out our own situation here and see that when he comes up that he's going to be a guy that's playing all the time. He is a player that is very good, very talented. Will more development time hurt him? No. But if we had to bring them up or we decide to bring him up, it's not like he can't contribute by any means. But it really comes down to if he's going to come up here, we need him to be able to play the majority of time. And I know Connor said that yesterday. But here's the deal. If he's better than the players that you are playing right now for a majority of the time, then you should just bench the guys that aren't as good and play the guy that's better. It's that simple.
It's absolutely that. Now that's insulting to the fan base. That's insulting. That is an insulting answer to the fan base because you have literally punted on a situation that we all knew coming into the year was untenable because it was untenable last year. And you're saying, it's just not the right time. It's just not it's not the right time right now to be able to do this. It's a joke. It's a joke. The Punxsutawney Phillies let a guy that other organizations would have had up here.
Yes.
Would have had up in the major leagues and they would have been playing. And I'm telling you this, there are others that would have had him up here last year.
Yeah, probably.
Would have had him up here at 20 and not worried about it.
See, the first two quotes that you read are crazy and I think insulting the intelligence of the fan base. That one, I think he's still playing the trade deadline card.
Okay, but still.
Yeah, but the thing is, you punted on. We knew this. If this was the answer last trade deadline, I get it. They did a whole nother year with it. A whole nother year of this nonsense of, well, we're waiting the time. We have to worry about it because they wanted to do the Logan O'Hoppe thing.
Just give Justin Crawford some PEDs. It won't really help him.
It won't help him.
It'll just get him suspended.
That was unreal. I can't believe
That's a bad one.
That's a president of baseball operations saying that.
That's a bad answer. Those are a couple of bad answers.
Oh, my God. All right, coming up next, Adam Schefter on this Wednesday morning. Camp has started. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phils take the series win. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phils have taken 2 of their first 2 from the Boston Red Sox. And last night it was thanks to, in large part, Christopher Sanchez, who threw the second complete game of the year for the Phillies. Struck out 12, no walks, 1 earned in his 9 innings of work. The Phils scored 2 in each of the first 2 innings. And that was all they needed for a 4-1 win. Schwarber went yard, Kepler went yard. But the real highlight of the night was Christopher Sanchez being absolutely dominant. Rob Thompson talked about it after the game.
Just a fantastic performance. And he's determined. He wants to get it done. He wants to finish. He doesn't like coming out of games. If he's in trouble, he wants to get himself out of trouble. He's really grown up in the last couple of years.
Game 3 is tonight at 7 p.m. Jesus Luzardo will face off against Lucas Giolito. The Eagles have their first practice of training camp today. It's officially football season here in Philadelphia. Nick Sirianni will meet with the media at 9:30 for his first chance to talk to the media in camp. We'll talk to Adam Schefter coming up next for the latest around the NFL. So some great football talk coming your way here on Kincade and Salciunas. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia Sports.
The Fanatic. We will be joined momentarily by our man Adam Schefter, as it is a Wednesday morning. Camp is back, Johnny. The Eagles reported yesterday. Nick Sirianni will speak to the media for the first time of training camp coming up at 9:30. We will carry that here on the Fanatic around 9:30 because I know he's never on time. And if it carries into the Mike Missanelli show, we will continue to air it. So make sure you are listening when Sirianni comes on. A couple other NFL notes from yesterday. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, retired from the NFL.
Oh, my gosh.
I loved watching him
I feel
play.
old. God, do I feel old.
I'm sorry.
Gosh. I remember when he was being recruited to college.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he got into the league, 2012, I think it was. He was a hell of a player.
Really fantastic.
Such a good player. He was a guy that the Eagles always kind of got linked to every once in a while, and it never happened. But he was a really fun player to watch. And, of course, we're still watching how the Trey Hendrickson situation will play out. But not just Trey Hendrickson. Another week of Terry McLaurin. McLaurin did not report to camp for the conditioning test, according to Adam Schefter, who we'll speak to momentarily. So that's something to keep an eye on. That's the best weapon for Jaden Daniels. And all the talk about how the Commanders are going to win the NFC East or will be one of the better teams in the NFC. Their best weapon is non-existent.
It's got Chris Miller a little worried this morning. It may be delaying his bet offer.
I would like to wager that Terry McLaurin will be on the Commanders. I can't. He's going to be for the life of me. He's going to see them let him go.
But this is just what the poverty franchises do when they don't know how to manage their cap well. They make decisions like this. They go out and they load up on all the old players, and then they don't know how to handle. They're taking the step out of Dallas's book. They're not handling their contract.
No, it's
Terry McLaurin should have been handled before any of these oldsters were.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, BC Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Let's head to the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. He's brought to us by Landis Block. Create your very own jaw-dropping backyard paradise online at landisbc.com. When we spoke to him last week, we said happy 1 week till camp. Today, I get to say happy camp day to Adam Schefter. Shefty, good morning.
Happy campers, you all are, right?
We are.
Everybody in camp as of today, and not only is everybody in camp, but the Commanders have a problem, the Cowboys have a problem, and the Eagles are sitting back just enjoying how their Super Bowl rings look.
But they're not talking about last year. That was great about the other night. The idea is that they have the ring ceremony, and that's it. They're moving on to next year. You've been around some teams, and you covered Denver back in the day, trying to do the back-to-back thing. But they didn't want. Did they want to talk about it? How did they handle it?
No, nobody wants to talk about it ever. I don't care whether I covered a team or didn't. I've been around the league 35 years. Anybody who follows the sport knows, these teams in any sport, they're moving. They're looking forward. They're not looking. You can't do that. That's just not the way that life works. It's almost like that viral Scotty Scheffler clip from last week where he talked about you enjoy it for 2 minutes and then you're on to the next thing. And that's mindset that every great team has to have as it moves forward. You enjoy your championship, you get your rings at a Friday night ceremony or whenever it is, and then it's time to turn the page to focus on trying to get another ring, and that's what the Eagles are trying to do. Now, the successful teams are able to do that and navigate it, and the teams that aren't successful can't do that and don't navigate it well. And we'll see how the Eagles handle this now starting here this summer.
Shefty, can you think about major distractions that actually impacted a team? You mentioned how the Commanders are dealing with stuff with Terry McLaurin, the Micah Parsons situation unfolding for the Cowboys. How much better is it actually that the Eagles are just set? Hey, we have our team. This is what we're going with. Everybody seems to be happy. How much does that impact one way or another for an NFL team going into camp?
Well, that's just where it's at today. The Eagles have no distractions. I guarantee you that at some point this summer, early in the season, they're going to have distractions. Because no NFL team, no matter how successful they are in a given season, is immune to all the things that come up during the course of the year, whether they are self-inflicted or they come from the outside or whatever it may be. There are always issues that arise. There's an injury. There's a controversial statement. Somebody gets in trouble. Somebody does something stupid. Whatever it may be. So there we go. It's not ideal, but it's just you expect it, and that's the way of the world.
When you think of last year's championship season, though, if to your point, if you go just rewind the clock and go back to September, if you go back to or even early October, there was a lot of turmoil around the Eagles, and it managed to turn all around, and then they just became a team that hummed along, but even survived a lot of really bad teams at home until at the end everything clicked. I actually wonder if this year could actually be a smoother ride after a championship because the team now has some pedigree. The team now actually has that confidence behind them.
Yeah, I think that's all part of it, no doubt about it. And as you get this, the Commanders just officially placed wide receiver Terry McLaurin on the reserve, did not score list.
Ooh,
wow.
Okay.
How about that?
So this is a little acrimonious, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, it's not exactly simple. Exactly.
Ooh, I like that.
Wow, I like that a lot. Thank you, Adam Schefter, for telling us that. So, Shefty, you talk about culture and we talk about, drama. I'm curious, did you hear the story from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on Ryan Clark's podcast, The Pivot, where he talked about how there was a dust-up in practice before one of the playoff games? Now, what I find interesting is that it never got out. So to your point about drama and how every team deals with it, in today's day and age where it seems like there's no secrets, how impressive is it for the Eagles culture that story never got out until CJ said it on a podcast 2 weeks ago?
And listen, in a way, I find those things insulting to me and other reporters. I know that when I covered the Broncos, if there was a fight and I didn't hear about it and I found out about it later on, like I always felt like I missed something. And so, I always took that personally. And I feel the same way whenever I hear something about that now. Like, oh, man, that got by me. But teams are trying to make sure that things like that don't get out. And oftentimes they don't. Like, I think that, football reporters do a very strong job getting so much information, getting it quickly. But it also, when you hear about something like this, I always say to myself, there are always things that go on that we don't get.
Yeah.
And that's an example, right? So kudos to the Eagles for keeping it in-house. I didn't know about it. I still don't know the full details of it. But that is a real deal.
Do you think that is potentially, when you hear stuff like that's one of the reasons why maybe they weren't too upset to see a guy like CJ go?
No, it's not like he's the leak or anything. Like he just talked about it. He was gone. He didn't really.
No, I'm more talking about the fact that he was potentially at the middle of something. As far as maybe being a little too gung ho, maybe rubbing people the wrong way or something along those lines.
No, listen, he's an outspoken guy. When he was on the team, it worked for them. Now that he's not there, you can't say like, oh, that's why they moved on. They would like to have kept him. It was financial decisions. You had to choose what you couldn't do, and they prioritized their needs and opted to allocate their dollars elsewhere. In a perfect world, they would have kept him. It just didn't work out to be a perfect world.
All right, absolutely. Adam Schefter with us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Now, you mentioned Terry McLaurin, and I just saw that you put out the tweet. Your multitasking is unbelievable.
He is amazing.
Can you tell us anything about the Trey Hendrickson situation? Because obviously, whenever a play is available, you know how fan bases get, and you know that we will always ask. We also know that edge rusher is a need for this team. I'm just asking. Realm of possibility, A, that he's not on Cincinnati, and B, the teams that could be calling.
He's really upset right now. Not pleased. And Now, I spoke to him Monday night for a while, for, I would say, a half hour. And this is about guaranteed money right now. It's always about the money, but in this particular case, it's about the guaranteed money. And with the guaranteed money here, they're offering him 1 year. And other top pass rushers all got 3 years' worth of guaranteed money. Now, the Bengals are not exactly the type of organization that is creative and imaginative and finding solutions and exploring. It's just not how they've operated. Now, maybe they will here. That would be great to see. But that's not typically how they've done things. And so Trey Hendrickson is in Florida. He's training. He's dug in. He's ready to not play if that's what it takes. He is adamant that he won't play on this current contract that pays him $16.5. He won't play for 1 year of guaranteed money. Not going to do that. Now, where they find a common ground and a solution, we'll see. I don't know. That's up to them. But he's in Florida. He left Monday night. Drove through Chattanooga, Knoxville, was getting a play-by-play, Atlanta. Again, he made great progress that night, but unfortunately it was with his trip to Jacksonville, not his contract negotiation.
I don't know if you caught the fact that his owner, when sitting down at the press conference to talk to the Cincinnati media, called him Trey Henderson. I just thought that was just unbelievable to me.
Well, I'll say this. I was on First Take yesterday, and they played Mike Brown in his comments, and you heard all the stuff. Like, for some reason, I hadn't seen it until then. We want Trey Hendrickson. He's a great player and deserves a raise, but dealing with him is not easy. Like, it whatever he said, I heard it, and I was like, whoa. You know how any of us, you hear, like, I was taken aback at what he said, and again, he's 89, I believe. So, we see older people, younger people too, but some older people come out and say things that maybe they're a little less filtered than they should be. And I thought to myself, like, wow, like that's not the type of comment I'd want to make in the course of a negotiation that's gone sideways and people are sensitive and touchy and not happy. Like, that's not the comment to make. You're not anything. You're only throwing fuel on the fire.
You mean like what Jerry Jones is doing with Micah Parsons as well?
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's the same thing. Like, you got two owners where you're better off not saying anything. But they're talking, and that's what happens, and that's where it goes. And when Mike Brown, I heard everything Jerry said, and I saw what JJ Watt tweeted, and he was right. He's like, boy, there's nothing like insulting your quarterback and your wide receiver and guys that are putting their bodies on the line for you. Like, that really makes you feel good at the start of camp. And it was the same thing with Mike Brown. When he said, I'm just telling you, like, my eyes open. I'm like, did he just say that? Like, because Trey Hendrickson would say the exact same thing about him.
Sure.
If he could.
Right.
He could. That's why it's a difficult negotiation. And that's why you're better off. Less is more. And it just amazes me what people say sometimes.
All right, lastly.
Great for TV, great for Get Up and First Take. Not so great for the teams trying to get these deals done.
Oh, absolutely. We're having fun with it, too, here in Philly.
Yeah, we enjoy it.
Before we let you go, and thanks as always, Schefty, can you just sort of explain what the fallout could be for the NFL Players Association with all the drama that's unfolded recently?
Well, not only, obviously, did Terry McLaurin just get placed on that referral list, and not only did the Jets just sign Samuel Jackson, who I never heard of, but it's fun to tweet that the Jets signed.
I've seen his movies.
Yeah, exactly.
And if there's ever been snakes on a plane, it's the Jets management.
Right, but Don Van Natta and Kalen Kaler from ESPN just filed a piece to ESPN that I'm waiting to read as soon as I hang up and retweet about the NFLPA meltdown. More details about what's emerged here.
Yeah, always carry cash to Magic City, Adam. Just always carry cash.
Yeah. I've never been, but obviously others have.
Exactly.
It's a fascinating story. Shefty, thanks as always, man. We appreciate the time. We'll talk to you again next week. Good to be able to talk to you about football being back.
Football's back, Adam.
Guys, have a great week and happy camper camping life to everybody.
Absolutely. There is
Thank you,
Adam
buddy.
Schefter on the Comcast Business Hotline, brought to us by our friends at Landis Block. Create your very own jaw-dropping backyard paradise online at landisbc.com. And as he says it, I see the story pop up on my timeline. So I'll try to read through this pretty quickly. More details.
They release it at 8 a.m. So this stuff, they obviously have this stuff hitting at 8 a.m.
Yeah. A lot of nonsense with the NFL Players Association. We'll see how this plays out. Today's headlines with Connor Thomas comes your way next. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like Groundhog Day because you keep hearing that?
Don Van Netta and Kalen Collar of ESPN.com with the latest on the NFLPA's just ridiculous week and a half that they've been having. Lloyd Howell Jr., he was the guy that was expensing money to strip clubs. And then J.C. Tretter, who was a big part of getting Lloyd Howell Jr. to be the sort of the president of the NFL Players Association. Tretter then steps down. Patrick Mahomes, who is the second alternate player rep, was a part of a 2-hour Zoom call Friday night.
Wow.
So while I was on the air at game night, there was a Zoom call going down.
So they weren't listening to you.
No, they weren't. Quote, we need to get our choice for leader right, end quote. Not really a groundbreaking quote, but, you know, basically what they're saying is sources familiar with the calls told ESPN that player reps expressed fear, frustration, and worry about the NFLPA's future. Now, remember, you guys kind of laughed at me when I said, if I'm Roger Goodell, do I kind of laugh at any sort of negotiation because I go, yeah, you think I need to take you guys seriously? Well, the players are worried about it too.
Mm-hmm. For good reason.
Definitely good reason. The guy that they appointed to be the top guy was going to get his wings and other things off at Club City, or Magic City, excuse me.
At the shoe show.
All right, it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
Brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. Now, it's rare that we stray too far outside the lines of sports on this show, but there was some big happening in the news of music yesterday.
Yes.
And the great Ozzy Osbourne, who is responsible for this song and many others, unfortunately passed away yesterday. Honestly, one of the last true rock stars on this planet. So wanted to give you guys a chance to talk about it.
Yeah, so I know it's sad for the music world. I think it was incredible that he did a farewell show
Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, it's you never know when your time's up.
Right, but it's amazing that he does this show and then it's
that he does a farewell show.
And it's and then he's gone.
I've seen though the problem is I've seen I saw a farewell show from Elton John back in
Right. I got you.
And then he goes and does more farewell shows.
Right.
But Ozzy is an entertainer.
Yeah, and the video that really circulated yesterday, the song "Mama, I'm Coming Home," was the show. It was the song that really circulated yesterday because he sang that on Saturday, and you could tell he wasn't. He was 76 years old.
Sure, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so
battling Parkinson's as well, which is what he passed from.
Yeah.
So
Parkinson's just destroys it destroys. It causes your body to just stop working.
Yeah.
And the fact that he could perform on Saturday night, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, icon in the music world, absolutely.
Yeah, sad day for heavy metal. So thoughts and prayers to Ozzy Osbourne's family. We're going to talk about some Little League baseball as well because Johnny sent me this story. So we've got a local kid from the Haddonfield, New Jersey Little League team that is going to be suspended from the state championship game that his team is playing in because he bat flipped in another game. So
he did a big bat flip.
Yeah.
You haven't
big
seen
time.
the video.
Pimped it. And now his dad is seeking an emergency temporary restraining order that will allow him to play in the championship game. So thoughts on that ruling?
Under what grounds are you asking for an emergency ruling?
That bat flips probably shouldn't get you suspended from a championship game.
Yeah. The rules are there. The rules there. The video's there. Under what grounds are you asking for the rule to be bent?
There's also a video of Todd Frazier ripping one into the sky in the actual Little League World Series. So I don't understand this whole bat flip gets you suspended thing.
Now here's the thing. All right.
Did you see? You're telling me.
I just watched it. All right, I just watched it. It was a high bat flip. Now here's the thing.
It was first of all, stand there, stare at it.
So does every major leaguer in baseball.
This is Little League.
We're trying to grow.
Are you kidding me?
Have fun with the game. Grow the game.
This is Little League.
And now this kid is not going to be able to play in his state. No, he didn't show up the other team.
Yes.
He threw his bat, and then he stared at his dugout. He didn't stare at the other team's dugout. He didn't do anything staring at the opposing team's players.
That is absolutely a disrespect to the other team. Stop it.
Screw the other team. Don't give up a bomb.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's ridiculous to suspend a kid from one of the biggest games of his childhood.
Why do
because
they have the rule in there, Connor?
Because
why do
dumb.
they have the rule in place?
It's a dumb rule. I wish they wouldn't have the rule.
Yeah,
I think the
it's
rule
a
is
dumb
stupid.
Rule. And to suspend him from a state championship is criminal. It's horrible.
He's a kid.
Why do you think they have the rule in place?
No, John.
You do know why they have the rule in place. Because they're trying to teach people to not act like that and to have some sportsmanship to them.
Okay, and then we wonder why baseball took a hit in viewership because it
You
was,
don't have
it
to.
was
You
too
don't. No.
boring.
You can enjoy a home run. You can have fun as a kid without doing what he did. That was over the top. Come on.
Okay, so
that
you
is
know what
over
happens?
the top.
Over the top, you pull the kid to the side and say, "Hey, man, don't do that again."
They obviously were having a problem with it if there were rules that were put in place to put it in place to stop.
Okay, then that's on Little League for not finding the right way to police it if they wanted to calm
It's
down.
that Little League. I mean, I thought the rules for that Little
whatever
League.
it is,
But
they're
John,
wrong.
that kid probably watched a game the night before and saw a Major League Baseball player bat flip. We all try to be like I couldn't hit like Gary Sheffield. I did the Sheffield thing when I was batting.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not. I love you both. I love you guys both. I do not want you coaching youth sports. If you look at that and say that's cool, I have no problem with my players doing that. I would not want you coaching my youth sports team.
Okay, then our teams will be fun and your team will be military.
You can have a lot of fun. I would want my kids to have a lot of fun, and I coach youth sports.
All right, and
I
this
wanted fun.
poor kid that was going to be able to play in his state championship will now not play in it because they suspended him over a bat flip. That's ridiculous.
That he played with that rule all year long. So the rule exists for a reason.
Some Harry Hardo was the guy that got him suspended, and I think that's wrong. I think
the
wrong.
rule got us suspended.
Yeah, whoever created the rule.
It wasn't one guy.
Not all rules are good rules.
Yeah, I think that's a horrible rule, John.
You guys are unbelievable.
All right, in an hour from now, we're going to hear Nick Sirianni address the media for the first time in training camp 2025. Quote from John Kincaid's email this morning. I hate kids having fun. Just kidding. Sirianni is Eagles king. We'll discuss that next as Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A complete game gem. I'm Connor Thomas, and that's what Christopher Sanchez gave the Phillies last night. He threw the second complete game of the year for the Fightins. He struck out 12, walked none, 1 earned, and he was just flat out dominant from start to finish. The Phils scored 2 in each of the first 2 innings, and that was all they needed for a 4-1 win over the Red Sox. Kyle Schwarber hit his 33rd bomb of the year. Kepler also went yard, but Rob Thompson talked about the highlight of the night, which was Christopher Sanchez's awesome performance on the mound.
Just a fantastic performance. And he's determined. He wants to get it done. He wants to finish. He doesn't like coming out of games. If he's in trouble, he wants to get himself out of trouble. He's really grown up in the last couple of years.
It's amazing the ascent that Christopher Sanchez has taken to near acedom, and we'll see if the Phillies can sweep the Red Sox. Game 3 is tonight at 7 p.m. Jesus Luzardo versus Lucas Giolito. Eagles have their first practice of training camp today. We're going to hear from head coach Nick Sirianni coming up at 9:30, his first media availability of camp. So we'll have that for you live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update's brought to you by Rapid Radios. Their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Texting, the easiest and most convenient way to I'll just read more and more about this NFL Players Association thing, about how they didn't really even want Howell to begin with because it was a secretive election. Players wanted a former player to be the head of the Players Association. One of the things mentioned in this story is the increasing to 18 games and how players don't want that, and how Howell may have been more Team Roger than Team Players Association.
Correct.
Now, that's a story within itself. It's still amazing that this guy was going to Magic City and the place in Miami and all this stuff.
The Players Association, I believe, but I'm not a player, so they get the right to do whatever they want. The Players Association should always be headed up by a former player. Period.
So,
like, whoever is the best former player spokesperson should always be the head of the Players Association, and their second in command should always be another ex-player.
Right.
Because they're speaking on behalf of their constituency.
Correct. I was reading this story, and Matt Schaub, local guy, obviously, he was in the running for it.
Yep.
Did not get it. And Dominique Foxworth, who's on ESPN, he went for it as well. And they basically had him do 2 interviews, and then it was like time for the final interview. And then last minute, they're like, "Nah, we're good."
I know both men personally. Dominique didn't get to know him as well, but really, really smart guy. Got to know him just 1 year. Really, really smart guy. Matt Schaub got to know Matty well. He's from Westchester East High School. Really, really smart guy, UVA guy. And I think he'd be an excellent choice if they ever go that route. And he'd be fantastic for it. Having these 2 jabronis that they had in charge, how are they speaking for NFL players? It'd be like if they had you and I speaking for NFL players. We don't know what it's like. We can hear what it's like.
Well, Treader played.
No, but I mean, still though, they're not the guys who are speaking for NFL players. You got to have guys. Troy Vincent could speak for NFL players.
Right.
He could speak with pedigree. He could speak with control. He could speak with. They have to have somebody who's there with more control. I have a feeling Schaub may get it, and that'd be great if he did. That'd be great if they do go around to having that.
By the way, I'm trying to he
had a lot of support, and
he was one of the finalists.
That would be great if he got it. Then we can have the NFL Players Association head on.
The article on ESPN.com, by the way, has crashed like 10 times for me as I'm trying to read it. I'm guessing there are a lot of people heading to that article right now.
There was a lot of stuff done out of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution on this story too, and supposedly there are follow-up articles from Atlanta in the works.
Oh, I imagine.
On other things that went on around that.
Yeah.
So there was maybe stuff going to come out that's going to be worse.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, the season starts in less than 2 months.
You remember, I was told the other day, remember Louisville when Rick Pitino and
Yeah.
That there's stuff that bad stuff could potentially be tied to this story. Like bad activities that make it look really stupid.
Yeah. It was the group.
So you got to be very careful.
Group event, they said.
Yeah, group events. So just be very careful.
Trying to grow the culture of the NFL Players Association.
There could be things tied to this story that make it really ugly.
Man, all right. Well, something to keep an eye on.
Be careful.
Just a wild time in the NFL Players Association over the last week and a half. And if you're a player, again, I mean it. Roger Goodell goes, yeah, sure. You guys want to work together? Yeah, the guy that you guys voted for secretly is going to Magic City. All right, Nick Sirianni speaks allegedly in an hour from now. You sent me an email this morning or yesterday where it mentions how Sirianni is Eagles king.
Yeah.
Go on.
I think that it's before he begins season 5. He's just about to go into season 5. Where for streaming shows, it's already jumped the shark. His career, he's the king. And I know that Andy Reid is my favorite coach that I've ever, for any team that I've ever rooted for. But I think I have to even understand that Nick Sirianni is the king. I'll put it this way. Dick Vermeil, beloved by Eagles fans. In his 5th season, which is where Nick Sirianni starts today. Dick Vermeil took the Eagles to Super Bowl 15. He took over a 4-10 team, but his first 2 years he went 4-10 and 5-9. In his third year, he had a first winning season, and then in his fourth year, went 11-5, won his first playoff game. So in his first 4 years, he doesn't come close to touching what Nick Sirianni did. Andy Reid, though, in his fifth season, Andy Reid went 12-4. So that's what he's going into this year. The team lost their third consecutive NFC title game at home versus Carolina. Doesn't even seem believable. He took over a 3-13 team, and Nick Sirianni took over a dumpster fire team. He went 5-11 his first year. Nick Sirianni went 9-8. And then Andy Reid followed with 11-5 and 2 12-4s in his first 4 years. So he really did well. And he won 4 playoff games in his first 4 seasons as Eagles coach. Nick Sirianni went to 2 Super Bowls and won one of them in his first 4 years. It's time to not discuss whether Nick Sirianni is close to Andy Reid. Andy Reid has the longevity.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni is the Eagles' king of coaching. And I don't believe it is debatable anymore.
So a couple things that I will debate, but I'm not saying that you're wrong.
No. But I mean,
I just want to talk. I want to talk this out. You mentioned that the Eagles were a dumpster fire when Sirianni took over.
They were.
That is true. But you can speak to this better than Connor and I can because you have snow on the top of your head.
Yes.
Vermeil took over death, not dumpster fire, right?
And what was a different NFL.
Right.
And the Eagles franchise was morose.
Correct.
The Eagles franchise was not what Andy Reid took over.
Right.
Because Andy Reid took over the Ray Rhodes stuff. And if Ray Rhodes hadn't found the Indian casinos, maybe he would have had more success.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it's absolutely. What Dick Vermeil did.
Yeah, he took over.
Yes, he did. No, he took over a franchise that had no pulse.
Right.
So absolutely with that. But also is that by the time he got to year 5, Coach Vermeil, who's close to 89, we just had him on recently.
And he sounds sharp.
Oh, and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He looks great and he feels great. He's full of energy. He was done. He only lasted one more year.
Yeah.
He was done. He had burned out.
Right.
Everything he had to offer, he was done. Nick Sirianni hadn't even gotten started.
Yeah.
Andy Reid hadn't even gotten started. But Andy Reid he talks about burning himself out along the way. I don't think Nick Sirianni's done that. And so what I would say is, yes, Dick Vermeil took over the worst situation. And Nick Sirianni benefits from being in an Eagles organization that Andy Reid had been a part of.
Right.
No question.
And he benefits from having Howie. And the thing is with Andy was coach/GM, even though, I know he had a lot of help too. I know it wasn't just the Andy Reid show, but Andy, here's where somebody would say, well, John, Nick stands there and they don't give him credit for it. Whereas Andy's the play caller, the guy that builds the roster.
How about this? If I told you that it was a hell of a lot harder for Andy Reid to know when to get out of the way. Nick Sirianni gets credit for the fact that he knows when to get out of the way. And by the way, that's a great skill set to know when to get out of the way.
It is. I don't think you're crazy for saying it.
He's the king to me.
I just think there's legitimate debates for.
I think there's one debate.
I think
it's Andy Reid.
It's Andy. It's not Dick Vermeil.
But it's not. To me, Nick Sirianni wins.
Oh, interesting. So coming up next,
and I love Andy Reid.
We'll stick with Nick Sirianni because speaking of sort of getting out of the way, Jeff McLane talked about that yesterday. We'll play the clip for you. We'll react to it. And I loved some of the things that Jeff McLane said. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a Birds Insider update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, yeah, it's the first day of training camp, folks. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles have reported to the NovaCare Complex. They did that yesterday, but today they actually get on the field, and there's a lot to keep an eye on as training camp gets going. Not only will we hear from head coach Nick Sirianni coming up at 9:30, and we'll play that live for you here on the airwaves, we'll also get our first look, just a glimpse, of what's going on with Kevin Patullo's offense. A new OC, some new faces on defense with the changes post-Super Bowl. And while the offseason was relatively drama-free, there are still some big-time question marks that exist in the defensive backfield, at the linebacker position, and with the Eagles' offense in general. So what will the defending Super Bowl champions look like as they head to the practice field for the first time? Probably not like a Super Bowl winning team. It is July after all. But getting our first taste of what the repeat season could look like, that's going to be something that we are as focused on as anything in Philadelphia sports. So, folks, you made it. The long wait's over. Football season is officially here in Philadelphia. We'll have plenty on what's going on at training camp from the NovaCare Complex. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The summer's here, and you know what that means.
But the heat's coming, Connor. 97 on Friday.
Well,
be ready for it.
Hopefully Friday's not the gasser day for the physical fitness test for the Eagles.
That's what I'm wondering, because
we'll be on Puke Watch again.
Yeah, the Puke Watch. Puke Watch will be tomorrow. Puke Watch will be tomorrow for the fitness test. Are you ready for it? Andrew, you ready for the opening?
Yeah.
Fitness test. I think be ready for the run.
I'm
the run
good.
would be no problem for
I'd be totally fine for the run.
Did you practice for the run always?
For what?
Did you always practice for the first? Did you have a first run for?
Oh no,
practice
dude! I was fat till I was a senior in high school. I wasn't practicing running. I was practicing video games and eating Twinkies.
And you didn't have a fitness test for high school ball, did you?
No, we did. Yeah,
but you didn't have.
We had to be able to finish a mile within X amount of minutes, all that kind of stuff.
Wait a minute. You Publix didn't have to do the.
Don't say you Publix, because I just told you we had to do a fitness test.
No, but didn't you have to do one in school too?
Oh, the national fitness test?
Yes, but that
didn't you have to climb the rope?
No, we never had to climb the rope.
Climb the rope.
I've never.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I've never climbed the rope in my life.
That was part of the fitness test.
Yeah, in the 40s.
No, it wasn't.
No,
what they take that out too? Because it got too hard.
Kids don't climb ropes.
Can remember,
did you have to have a video game controller? Is now part of it?
Hold on. We had a run. I don't know how long the run was for when we were younger. We had how many times you could do a pull-up,
right?
Push-ups, sit-ups,
right.
And then there was the one
fitness gram pacer test.
Do you remember the one where you had to see if you could touch your toes and then how far you could? Yeah.
Yes.
We had that, but
that was
rope.
part of it.
No
there
rope.
was. They said the rope.
I never had a rope.
I've never climbed the rope. Did you have the leap where you had to hit the which number?
No, I think we did
the vertical leap.
I think we did long jumps.
We didn't do long
jump for something, but I don't think
we
it was
did the
part of
vertical leap where you had to hit as many pegs as the highest peg that you could knock over.
They just put a piece of paper underneath me and saw how high I could jump.
Believe me, you haven't seen mine.
I wasn't much of an athlete.
8.5 by 11.
You can imagine.
8.5 by 11. Are your hops any better? We'll see.
Yes, they are better because I've lost 20 pounds. That helps. That's just gravity, baby.
Lost a middle school kid.
Yesterday, Jeff McLane joined us. It was great to have Jeff back. He took his 5-week hiatus, as he should. Football's back. Time to get back to work, Mr. McLane. You asked him about Nick Sirianni, and I thought it was a very interesting question. How is Nick Sirianni going to be post-Super Bowl victory? Take a listen. Jeff gave a pretty long answer about Nick Sirianni, what he expects to see out of him, and some of the things that may help the Eagles moving forward.
I think it's a fair question because you mentioned Doug, and I just don't think Doug was the same. It wasn't just him, obviously, for why that team, plummeted the way it did over kind of a 3 or 4 year regression to the point where they went, 4-11-1, and he was fired. There are a lot of factors in that decline. Nick, I think, has a little more energy for the job. Let's put it that way. It seemed like Doug was kind of more like doing it, not because he didn't want to do it, or not that he thinks he wasn't capable, but he kind of walked into it a little bit more where it's like, this is just all that Nick has ever wanted to do. And I think he's kind of in this for the long haul. I think, the energy is there, and winning, I don't think it's just him being satisfied just with one. I think that he wants to kind of build, legacy here. Yeah, there are questions about, how much he has contributed to the team's success, et cetera. I don't think he cares as much about that kind of stuff. He's willing to be kind of in the background to an extent, which is weird to say for a head coach, but, he's selfless that way. So I don't think Nick's going to change. He is who he is. Now, obviously, what comes with that is a little bit of, immaturity, brashness, all that other stuff that we've talked about before that maybe have gotten him into trouble before. But that's just Nick being Nick. And at this point, I think the Eagles embrace it because there is so much other positive that comes with him as head coach.
May have gotten him in trouble before, like going to the principal's office after the game against
after
the Browns.
Cleveland game, yeah.
But I like how Jeff said, look, he loves this. And Doug may not have. I don't know if you and I have ever talked about it, but I got a chance to speak with Doug P. a few years ago.
Was that the golf tournament day?
Correct. It was a golf tournament. And basically after our conversation, he made it pretty clear that he wasn't devastated, that he was no longer coach.
It broke my heart, and I remember you and Ant having this conversation.
Yeah.
That was sort of like the feel.
Like, all right.
By the way, that devastated me hearing that perspective.
He very gladly took a year off, getting paid however many millions of dollars by the Eagles. And then he goes to Jacksonville, and he did try. But remember, the whole...
And the first year was excellent.
Yeah. But remember, he wanted his guys and all that kind of stuff.
Press Taylor cost him 2 jobs.
Yeah, so I don't think Doug totally. I think he loves football. I just don't know if he totally loved being a head coach. Sirianni loves it. Sirianni's obsessed with it. We've known that, right? The way he talks about football, we know that he loves football. It's just whether or not was he actually a great head coach, and we've found out that he's put together a hell of a resume as the head coach of the Eagles. But I also love that Jeff McLane says he's okay with being in the background. That's fine. Unless your offense is sputtering, like we saw with Brian Johnson, I don't need Nick Sirianni to try to, be the play caller because we saw it not work. I'm okay with him saying, I have Vic Fangio as my defensive coordinator. Okay. He's going to be the head coach of the defense, much like Jim Schwartz was when it was Schwartz and Peterson. It's the same thing. Doug was the head coach of the offense. Schwartz was the head coach of the defense.
It's try to appreciate guys for what they do well and appreciate them for also not screwing stuff up. And to not screw stuff up is important.
Yes.
And he doesn't screw stuff up.
Yeah.
And that's part of it, not getting in the way. He's gotten in the way before.
Yes.
And he learns from it.
He's also gotten out of the way.
He is a guy that learns from his mistakes. And that also is something that I find admirable in people in their jobs.
But he's also gotten out of the way during a burning building.
Yep. I got you.
He shouldn't have with Brian Johnson, and we'll see how it goes with Kevin Patullo this year. But that was some good stuff from Jeff McLane yesterday. He joins us every single Tuesday. You can hear that again on 97.5thefanatic.com, as well as our Adam Schefter interview. You'll hear the best 5 minutes of it coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. But coming up next, we'll reset some of our topics. Check our text line. I know a lot of people want to chime in about the Phillies as well. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sanchez shuts down the Sox. I'm Connor Thomas, and Christopher Sanchez take a bow after last night. My goodness, did he put on a show through the second complete game of the year for the Phillies. Struck out 12, walked 0, only 1 earned. The Phils scored 2 in each of the first 2 innings, and that was all the run support Sanchez would need in a 4-1 win. Kyle Schwarber went yard, Max Kepler went yard, but Christopher Sanchez was the real star of the show last night. Rob Thompson talked about him after the game.
Just a fantastic performance, and he's determined. He wants to get it done. He wants to finish. He doesn't like coming out of games. If he's in trouble, he wants to get himself out of trouble. He's really grown up in the last couple of years.
So the Phils have won the series over the Sox. It's their first series win in the last 4 appearances in series. So that's a good thing for them, and they can go for the sweep tonight. Game 3 is at 7 p.m. Jesus Luzardo faces off against Lucas Giolito. The Eagles have their first practice at training camp today, so it's officially football season here in Philly, and Nick Sirianni will meet with the media coming up at 9:30, just a little over a half hour. This update's brought to you by Rapid Radios. They're instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage for a limited time. Get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey, sports fans, it's back to school time, so why not get some
Up around 9:10, Nick Sirianni will speak around 9:30. We'll get to our text messages soon because I know we've had a lot of good Eagles and Phillies discussion. But speaking of Ricky Pitalico here in that last commercial that you just heard, I know you saw it. The photos I posted yesterday, the side-to-side of Gage Wood and Ricky Pitalico.
Oh, you know
my
what?
gosh, it's incredible.
Did you not see it?
No.
Go to my Twitter account.
Makes sense.
Go to my Twitter account.
He looks
I want to
really
get your
young-
immediate reaction.
Connor, he's a young Ricky.
The scary eyeballs.
Now, not physique, but he's a young Ricky.
Well, and also it's the hard-throwing righty.
Hard-throwing righties.
The fiery personality, because Gage Wood has a bit of a fiery personality as well.
The kid's charming. Did you watch the interview during the game?
I did, yeah.
The kid's charming. He's excited. He's excited for the opportunity. He's poised. He's got a little bit of Ricky Bo in him.
Yeah.
I want the Ricky Bo sit down with Gage.
That would be great.
Yeah, he looks like him.
He does,
doesn't he?
Like
with the hat on, it's the hat though, because with the hat off, now I'm going to tell you this. Now it's just one assessment from our house. My wife says, "Oh, he's a handsome kid. He's not as good looking as Ricky."
Ah,
that's what she said. I said, you know.
Speaking of that,
I think we got to figure out if Ricky's been to Arkansas anytime.
I don't know. I say Christina though Christina thinks that Ricky really with the his devotion to fitness, the haircut and everything. She thinks Ricky's looking mighty good this summer.
Beth responded to my tweet with a, "Oh, there can only be one Ricky Bo," with a winky emoji.
Whoa, what up, Beth?
Well, look, Ricky Bo, to women of a certain age, Ricky Bo still in this town. Even my wife never lived here, and just because of my devotion to the Phillies, she knew who Ricky Bo was, and she, let's just say
she's a big fan.
Ricky Bo is women like Ricky Bo.
Listen, he'll take you out, log her up. It'll be a fun night.
Well, let's just say that I think they like Ricky Bo because there are certain women who appreciate that there are the more manlier men.
Yeah,
they look at Ricky as a manlier man, not very manscaped. He's not all manscaped up.
Bill Colarulo, on the other hand,
that's a lot of
Make sure you listen to Unfiltered today, 2 to 6.
Yeah, now, Ray, that's a little different.
All right.
Manscaped.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Real quick before we get to our text line, I said to you guys this morning, the Raiders signed who? The Raiders signed Jamal Adams yesterday, safety, who, if you guys remember, was a hell of a talent like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
He's played a total of 15 games over the last 3 seasons. I'm just curious.
Yeah, but you know what, though? This is stuff that, remember who their coach is now.
Yeah,
so
Pete Carroll. And he was with the Seahawks.
And he loves veterans.
Yeah. And they're
Loves
probably trying to build
a culture and say, here's a guy who can come in
and stand there.
And do that. No, he isn't. He's not that kind of coach.
No, I'm saying Jamal Adams.
Oh, Jamal Adams. Oh, I thought you were talking about Pete Carroll.
Like, it's not like he play. He doesn't play. He doesn't play
I
all that much.
thought you were talking about Pete Carroll.
No, Pete Carroll at least chews gum.
Yeah. He does stand there, but he's chewing a lot of gum during it. All right, what do we got on the text line? What?
One of our listeners sends a little note along saying, "Yeah," he says, Ricky Bo looking like that manly man. Says that his old partner, Bill Colarulo, was seen having lunch with Matt LaFleur.
Oh.
After their eyebrow waxings. Now that's terrible.
Well, listen,
Bill does not have his eyebrows waxed.
Bill's been doing a lot of hits on Fox 29.
Bill does
in
not
the morning, so he wants to look nice and good
I don't
on
think
the
Bill
TV.
has. I do not think Bill has his eyebrows waxed. Now he's going off my eyebrow waxing jokes with Matt LaFleur.
Hey.
I do not think Bill eyebrow waxes.
We can ask him. We know him. We have his phone number.
I think he probably threads.
We have his.
I think he probably
contact.
He probably threads.
All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, so we have people checking in on that conversation we had on Nola and Arenado and Helsley from the Cardinals.
Sure.
This texter says Arenado and Helsley for Ranger is a terrible deal. Helsley is an expiring reliever who isn't amazing, and Arenado is declining. You're better getting a David Bednar and trading for a Joe Adell or Taylor Ward or Adolis Garcia. Ranger cannot be moved.
That'd be great if you knew those deals were available. but we don't. And these deals are Nolan Arenado is, you can just go on St. Louis beat writers. Nolan Arenado is considered to be a player who is available. And Helsley is a player who is considered to be available.
Yeah, look, I'm not screaming here going, do it.
Right. I mean,
when you said Ranger Suarez is hang up the phone,
that's crazy.
I can't agree with that considering he is a free agent after the season. And all signs so far point to him not coming back.
Sure.
Because he's going to get paid.
I don't think he's coming back.
And so if that's the case, all right, you either gamble and you say, we hope that we can win something with this last half of a season and a playoff run with Ranger Suarez, which I don't think is a horrible decision to make.
No.
Or you gamble that the guy that's not going to come back, the trade that we acquire, these guys help us out a little bit more. I just don't agree with your sentiment of hang up the phone.
Okay, David sends along a note earlier on that conversation, and David says, if you do the conversation that you had earlier on pitching rotations, if you go Wheeler, Sanchez, Luzardo, you will not find a better 1, 2, 3 in baseball that you're going to match up against. He said you may find a push, but you're not going to find better, even with Luzardo having 6 starts that were absolute trash.
We also don't know who is Aaron Nola.
And that could end up being something else where the manager says, I'm absolutely pitching. If Aaron
a guy
Nola,
that he's trusted in the playoffs for many years now.
And by the way, every time you've had success in the postseason, Aaron Nola's been a part of it.
Right.
A big part of it. So if Aaron Nola puts up, let's say Aaron Nola gives you 6 starts down the stretch where he shows you that he looks like the Aaron Nola of the past, where he gives you quality starts, and he has a couple clunkers thrown in there too, where he's not as good. I am not putting it past Rob Thompson to say, you know what? I like the playoff experience. I like what he's done for the franchise.
Now, if Rangers here, I don't even think.
No, I don't think it's a question.
I don't think it's
not a question. But it could be a piggyback.
Could be.
Because, Ranger does tend to sometimes putter out.
Yeah, it's just not what winning teams do, right? It's not what World Series contending teams do. That they have a guy that is very valuable at a very valuable position, and they say, well, he's on an expiring deal, so we're going to trade him away. Like, whether you get good stuff back or not, if you have a sub-3 ERA starting pitcher and you are a World Series contending team, you do not trade that player.
Yeah, but you keep on saying that's not what winning teams do.
Well,
what winning teams don't do is get rid of their best relievers or don't re-sign their best relievers.
And they don't have a black hole in left field, and they don't have a center field situation that's terrible.
They trade prospects that are not currently on the team to fill those holes.
And if the teams say no, let's say they cannot make a deal with any team and without Ranger Suarez being included. Say that. Then this team...
Sure, that's never going to happen.
Okay.
Because every single team in baseball, if you look at who you are more likely to trade for, would trade for Andrew Painter before they trade for Ranger Suarez on an expiring contract.
Right.
You have...
Andrew Painter may not be available.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, Ranger Suarez is not available. I'm telling you right now. You have 5 of the top 100 prospects in baseball. You have no need to trade a sub-3 ERA starter that has playoff experience and has thrown well in the postseason on a team that you're trying to push to the World Series. It's flat out, it's counterproductive.
What is more important to you to win a World Series? Your third starter or your closer? Back-end closer.
And third baseman.
Come on, Connor. You know the right answer to this. You can't hem and haw on this.
No, I can't hem and haw.
When you have the first 2 starters that you've got, you cannot hem and haw on this.
Yes, it takes more than 2 starters.
Again, it's simple math.
Who's closing games for you in the postseason, Connor?
You can. That's not what I'm saying.
No, but I'm asking you right now, so it's very calmly.
Okay.
Who's closing games for you in the postseason if you don't have that solved?
Orion Kerkering. Jordan Romano, one of those 2 guys.
Oh my gosh, then you're not going anywhere.
I hate the bullpen.
Well, then you're not going anywhere.
No, I'm not. I'm going somewhere with prospects instead of one of your better players at the major league level. It's flat out dumb, guys. I'm just going to say it's dumb to even think about trading Ranger Suarez for where this team is.
I think it's dumb to not have a conversation, Connor. I'm not saying it has to happen.
We're not saying it has to happen, but the thing is, I'm telling you right here, a pretty well placed Cardinal source. They're not going. Mick Abel's not getting it done. Now, I don't know about Andrew Painter because I didn't bring that up in the conversation. But, hey, you talking Ranger Suarez? Because in the offseason, this person believes Ranger Suarez is going to be on their radar.
Yeah,
so
for
probably to get Ranger Suarez, they'd go, hey, we get him in the building. We can make a push for the wild card.
But you know what my answer to that would be? Screw the Cardinals.
And do that.
We're going somewhere else. Nolan Arenado is not the only guy on the market. Helsley's not the only guy on the market. If that's their ask, then no trade. Ranger is here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
You could. It's not like they have nothing else to offer.
Is Ranger your roommate? Because you are getting heated.
No. I have a brain, and I'm not trading one of the best 3 pitchers on this World Series contending team.
Dude, the fact that you hesitated on saying that the third starter is not. You wouldn't just say to me the third starter is not more important to you than who closes out games or getting a right-handed power bat in your lineup. And by the way, we don't know that the prospects you're talking about trading can deliver those people. So,
I mean, we do. We just don't know if the Phillies are willing to give him up. Andrew Painter can be the cornerstone of a trade to get you anybody on the market.
We're 8 days away, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got on the
8
text
days
line?
away.
All right. We also have check-ins on the conversations that we've been having with the Little League thing coming up. People are a little bit upset about the bat flip stuff, so we'll get into that. And Sean checks in, says, all Little League kids bat flip. Half my friends' sons bat flip when I go to games. They hit homers, never got suspended. I think it's a dumb rule.
If they have a league rule in place, that is in place, does the texter feel the same way? And I don't want to hear, well, it's a stupid rule, because that's ridiculous. If there's a rule in place, that's like saying, I did 75 and a 55. It's a stupid rule. Don't give me a ticket. If the rule's in place, which, by the way, other kids supposedly been suspended, I don't know what you want them to do.
Well, no, that's not the conversation we're having. You could say, like, the rule's in place, and by letter of the law, he should have been suspended, but our point is that's a silly rule for 12-year-olds.
I think it's a silly rule for 12-year-olds.
Why?
Because when they watch Major League Baseball, they see it all the time.
Okay, why is it a rule? Why would they not want it in high school leagues? They have it in rules. Now I'm getting people here saying in high school leagues where they do not allow bat flips.
All right.
I think it's
so. Why would they have that rule? Why would you think they have that rule
versus a 12-year-old?
Well, why wouldn't you want
12-year-old is a child?
Why wouldn't you want them to learn how to play the game the right way? Isn't that what it's supposed to be about? Sportsmanship, playing the game the right way?
With all due respect to my father, who was my coach, I watched the Phillies. I watched the Mariners. I saw what Ken Griffey Jr. did. I wore my hat backwards. I did a lot of the things that I watched the Major League Baseball players do, and not Al Salciunas. Even though he was my coach and taught me how to track a fly ball and all these kinds of things, I would watch Major League Baseball and go, wow, that was cool. I want to try that. Not my dad wearing his New Balances and his high white socks and his jorts.
Did they wear their hats backwards during the games?
No, it was during the
So
home run
during the
derby.
game, they played it the right way.
Yeah, sure.
So Al Salciunas had you wear your hat the right way.
Well, we were supposed to.
So you didn't wear your hat backwards during a game, so that's a silly.
And neither did Ken Griffey Jr. What I'm saying is everybody tried replicating what their favorite players were doing.
Yeah, well, you can wear your hat backwards. Not during the game, you're not. You're not doing things.
Yeah, but bat flips happen during
and by the way,
a game.
Here's a good thing to
League
teach your
Baseball.
kids. Good thing to teach your kids. If there's a rule in place, whether the rule is stupid or not, follow the rule.
No, I disagree entirely. I think you should have the right to question authority when authority goes outside the realms of reality.
Yeah, that's great. Enjoy it.
Can't tell your kids to blindly follow everything.
Yeah, blindly follow everything.
That's what you said.
Enjoy the dean's office. Oh my God.
Oh, like you and I and Salciunas have never been to the dean's office.
I've been to the dean's office. Mr. Mayako could call the show and tell you I've been to the dean's office.
I've never broken a rule either.
You liar.
All right, coming up next, we have our 5 best minutes of Adam Schefter. Don't forget, Sirianni speaks for the first time in training camp coming up at 9:30. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
I really think it's the Eagles that win this division again. It is the weird
Best minutes of Adam Schefter we'll play in a second, but real quick, the NFL the official Twitter account, they always post like random stuff, sometimes here and now, sometimes like memory lane stuff. T.Y. Hilton highlight reel.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was locked in.
What's that about?
Why not?
But why were they posting that?
It was just peak Andrew Luck to T.Y. hits every time. So I just watched a 2-minute T.Y. Hilton highlight reel during the commercial break.
I
loved T.Y. Hilton.
I think the
touchdown celebration, T.Y.
To me, Andrew Luck is always going to bother me to no end.
Well, one of the bigger what ifs.
Yeah, interviewed his dad, talking about it once. I'm totally fascinated, and good for him that he did what he wanted to do in life. But I'm just absolutely fascinated.
Yeah,
that just walking away at that point.
Now he's part of the Stanford football program.
Hadn't had a lot of concussions. Hadn't had the debilitating injuries, and he just walked away. But a guy who, as you talked about, with Nick Sirianni in football, didn't love it.
Yeah,
the way other people love it. With all that skill,
very good at it.
My gosh, he was great at it.
Very good at it. All right, here's our 5 best minutes with Adam Schefter from earlier this morning. Today, I get to say happy camp day to Adam Schefter. Shefty, good morning.
Happy campers, you all are, right?
We are.
Everybody in camp as of today, and not only is everybody in camp, but the Commanders have a problem, the Cowboys have a problem, and the Eagles are sitting back just enjoying how their Super Bowl rings look.
But they're not talking about last year. That was great about the other night. The idea is that they have the ring ceremony, and that's it. They're moving on to next year. You've been around some teams, and you covered Denver back in the day, trying to do the back-to-back thing. Did they want to talk about it? How did they handle it?
No, nobody wants to talk about it ever. I don't care whether I covered a team or did. I've been around the league 35 years. Anybody who follows the sport knows, like, these teams in any sport, they're looking forward. They're not looking, you can't do that. That's just not the way that life works. It's almost like that viral Scotty Scheffler clip from last week where he talked about you enjoy it for 2 minutes and then you're on to the next thing. And that's the mindset that every great team has to have as it moves forward. You enjoy your championship, you get your rings at a Friday night ceremony or whenever it is, and then it's time to turn the page to focus on trying to get another ring. And that's what the Eagles are trying to do. Now, the successful teams are able to do that and navigate it, and the teams that aren't successful can't do that and don't navigate it well. And we'll see how the Eagles handle this now starting here this summer.
Shefty, can you think about major distractions that actually impacted a team? You mentioned how the Commanders are dealing with stuff with Terry McLaurin, the Micah Parsons situation unfolding for the Cowboys. How much better is it actually that the Eagles are just set? Hey, we have our team. This is what we're going with. Everybody seems to be happy. How much does that impact one way or another for an NFL team going into camp?
Well, that's just where it's at today. The Eagles have no distractions. I guarantee you that at some point this summer, early in the season, they're going to have distractions because no NFL team, no matter how successful they are in a given season, is immune to all the things that come up during the course of the year, whether they are self-inflicted or they come from the outside or whatever it may be. There are always issues that arise. There's an injury. There's a controversial statement. Somebody gets in trouble. Somebody does something stupid, whatever it may be. So there we go. It's not ideal, but it's just you expect it, and that's the way of the world.
When you think of last year's championship season, though, to your point, if you go just rewind the clock and go back to September or even early October, there was a lot of turmoil around the Eagles, and it managed to turn all around, and then they just became a team that hummed along, but even survived a lot of really bad teams at home until at the end, everything clicked. I actually wonder if this year could actually be a smoother ride after a championship because the team now has some pedigree. The team now actually has that confidence behind them.
Yeah, I think that's all part of it, no doubt about it. And as you get this, the Commanders just officially placed wide receiver Terry McLaurin on the reserve, did not score list.
Ooh,
wow.
Okay.
How about that?
So this is a little acrimonious is what you're telling us.
Yeah, it's not exactly simple. Exactly.
So, Shefty, you talk about culture and we talk about, drama. I'm curious. Did you hear the story from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson Thompson on Ryan Clark's podcast, The Pivot, where he talked about how there was a dust-up in practice before one of the playoff games. Now, what I find interesting is that it never got out. So to your point about drama and how every team deals with it, in today's day and age where it seems like there's no secrets, how impressive is it for the Eagles culture that that story never got out until CJ GJ said it on a podcast 2 weeks ago?
Listen, in a way, I found those things insulting to me and other reporters. I know that when I covered the Broncos, if there was a fight and I didn't hear about it and I found out about it later on, like I always felt like I missed something. And so I always took that personally. And I feel the same way whenever I hear something about that now. Like, oh, man, that got by me. But teams are trying to make sure that things like that don't get out. And oftentimes they don't. Like, I think that, football reporters do a very strong job getting so much information, getting it quickly. But it also, when you hear about something like this, I always say to myself, there are always things that go on that we don't get. And that's an example, right? So kudos to the Eagles for keeping it in-house. I didn't know about it. I still don't know the full details of it. But that is a real deal.
Do you think that is potentially, when you hear stuff like that's one of the reasons why maybe they weren't too upset to see a guy like CJGJ go?
No, it's not like he's the leak or anything. Like he just talked about it. He was gone. He didn't really.
No, I'm more talking about the fact that he was potentially at the middle of something. As far as maybe being a little too gung ho, maybe rubbing people the wrong way or something along those lines.
No, listen, he's an outspoken guy. When he was on the team, it worked for them. Now that he's not there, you can't say like, oh, that's why they moved on. They would like to have kept him. It was financial decisions. You had to choose what you could and couldn't do. And they prioritized their needs and opted to allocate their dollars elsewhere. In a perfect world, they would have kept him. It just didn't work out to be a perfect world.
And that's our 5 best minutes of Adam Schefter. You can check out the whole thing on 975thefanatic.com, as well as our YouTube page. You and I both just retweeted the same tweet. You quote tweeted. I went straight up retweet.
He's so happy.
Andrew DeCecco at training camp.
He's with us Friday morning.
An empty field. He just took a photo of the empty field. It's Christmas Day.
No one's happier. I want to see the notebook, though. I want to see the new hardcover notebook, like first day of school.
Yeah, I can't wait for
so happy.
2 hours to DeCecco on Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, coming up next, Nick Sirianni speaks to the media allegedly at 9:30.
What's the over-under? I say 9:36.
I'll take the over.
I think he's on his best behavior for day one. 9:30 on the dot.
Way over.
Shock the world. 9:30. But until then, you have a fun question to ask the people. What's this year's buzzword from Nick Sirianni? Core Valleys is coming up. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sanchez, a second ace. I'm Connor Thomas, and Christopher Sanchez is making the case to be the second ace behind Zach Wheeler of the Phillies rotation. He threw the second complete game of the year for the Phillies last night, joining Zach Wheeler as the only two guys to accomplish that for the Fightins. He struck out 12 Red Sox batters. No walks, 1 earned as the Phils won 4-1. They only scored in the first 2 innings, the Phillies did. But 2 in each of those was enough to get it done. Kyle Schwarber hit his 33rd homer of the year. Max Kepler also went yard. Rob Thompson talked about Christopher Sanchez's growth as a pitcher after the game.
Just a fantastic performance, and he's determined. He wants to get it done. He wants to finish. He doesn't like coming out of games. If he's in trouble, he wants to get himself out of trouble. He's really grown up in the last couple of years.
He certainly has, and we've all witnessed it. He's a great weapon for the Phillies to have as they look to make the push to October. Game 3 is tonight against the Red Sox. The Phils have already won the series, but they'll see if they can go for the sweep. 7 p.m. first pitch, Jesus Luzardo versus Lucas Giolito. The Eagles have their first practice of training camp today. It's officially football season in Philly. Nick Sirianni meets with the media coming up at 9:30, so you hear that next year on Kincade and Salciunas. This update is brought to you by Moyer. Summer's heating up. Call Moyer Indoor-Outdoor for expert pest control and lawn care. Moyer, trusted service, year-round solutions. Visit eMoyer.com today. I'm Connor Thomas on the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid.
Yeah, I'm calling it. I think he is actually on time today. 9:30.
Okay, you got a minute 25 to be right.
Yeah, well, doesn't
That
matter
is
about
plus 10,000 at your sportsbook of choice.
Yeah.
How many people do you think he's shaking hands with on the way to the podium?
First day of school, baby. He wants to be on time.
What do you think? He's got his backpack?
I'm going 9:30. But because the odds are against me, what is the buzzword?
Okay, my buzzword, focus.
That's good.
He's going to drop focus.
Bro, that was mine.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God, that was the first thing that I thought of.
I think he's going to drop focus like today over and over again. It's about laser sharp focus and us being focused. I think we're going to hear focused like a drinking game tonight.
Okay.
That's my idea.
I think core values is still it's I don't think there's going to be a new thing. I think it's just core values.
Core values.
They're going to be there.
Well, I hope they're always there because it's certainly paid off. No matter how much it was mocked, it's paid off.
Does he play off of the fertilizing? Isn't pruning? Don't you prune plants or something?
You do prune your plants. You don't prune them in summer though. You do not prune your plants in
do you prune your
core values?
No, your figurative flowers. Do you prune the players during training camp?
No.
Get them. You don't get them set for.
You're not supposed to prune.
I don't exactly know what pruning is, so I'm not sure.
It's technically what you kind of.
It's when you cut back your plants and you shape your plants. I mean, you don't do it in the summer though.
Yeah.
Like now when it's hot weather, I think you're not supposed to be pruning.
So I think
like focus.
I think focus.
Focus is a word.
There's a strong chance that.
By the way, you're
focus.
late. You missed.
Hold on, it's 9:30 and 20 seconds. I got all of 9:30. I have until 9:30:59.
Okay.
To see if I'm right or not.
The live odds are now at plus 20,000.
But look, I get it. He's probably going to be late. He's probably not going to be focused himself, even though he'll use the word focus a lot.
And is Howie going to speak more than he does?
Howie's not talking today, is he?
I thought it was just Nick.
Just Nick.
No, Howie does usually though. At some point.
But that's usually we know
at training camp. He always speaks at some point.
Yeah, and then it's the Howie Roseman press conference with Nick standing there, and then Howie always goes, "I'll take this one."
Howie's got his hand up Nick's shirt.
I'll take this one
like a marionette. Okay, it's done.
Damn.
All right, you lost.
All right, Sirianni already late. But you know what? Why change? He's Super Bowl champion. He may as well be late to the press conference.
If he comes on time, they might start losing.
That's
exactly.
That's a good point.
Look. He's proven me wrong on the one thing, and thankfully I didn't mock the core values thing, so I don't have to apologize for that one. But I was so heavy-handed on not liking how he did his camp, and 2 years in a row, and then he went to a Super Bowl and lost it, and I've been silent on it ever since. I was wrong. Capital
but
wrong.
It was more physical last year.
Well, no, it was, but I still believe the way he's run his camp, popular with his players. Good with it. He brings his team healthy to opening day. And more importantly, if his players like it and then they tend to play well, which they do.
Well, as long as they play well.
Which they tend to play well. So to me, that's John. Let the people who are playing tell you what's the right thing to do.
All right, a couple of things as we await Nick Sirianni. Shocker. Nick Foles, congratulations, inducted into the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame.
I saw that.
I saw the tweet yesterday from Arizona Athletics. He has the locks in this photo. He's got the sunshine hair. Well, it's from his Arizona days, so he's got the sunshine hair. So that was really cool. Another thing, I'm curious. We don't really talk about TV, especially because I'm not a big TV guy.
Okay.
Vince Gilligan, who created Breaking Bad, is going to be creating a new show.
Oh, really?
That's a must automatic. I will check it out, right?
Yeah, he deserves the benefit of the doubt. Check it out.
It's going to be a psychological sci-fi starring Rhea Seehorn, who was she was one of the lawyers in the prequel of Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, which
she was tremendous.
I know people who think that show was even better.
I don't think it was better. I thought it was very good.
Didn't catch me.
I thought it was very good. It was not better than Breaking Bad. It's going to be on Apple TV though, so it's not going to be FX and then to Netflix.
Okay,
which those previous two shows were. So that's an automatic. You got to watch it, right?
I'm not a big TV guy either, so like I'd really have to be convinced by someone else's opinion on it.
Breaking Bad is considered one of the greatest
It's considered one of the best shows.
And it was my favorite show that I've ever watched.
Yeah, I watched it 6 years late, so like I'm not a TV guy.
I was late to it. I didn't start watching it.
You're late to everything. TV trend.
I watched Game of Thrones in 2022. And I watched Breaking Bad in like 2020. It was COVID. Like I was like, what else am I doing? So let me watch Breaking Bad.
And you never finished Sopranos.
No, 2 seasons.
You gave up.
I was out. Yeah, most overrated television show in the history of TV. 610-632-0975.
Wow.
Just didn't get me. I understand.
The most overrated though. Wow.
I understand what it meant for television at the time. Shows have gotten better since then.
Okay. No, I mean I'm not going to argue with
It's
you.
also
My opinion is not anywhere near yours. I'm not going on that plank. But my opinion on Sopranos has always been people overhype it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have enough dragons. They needed more dragons.
Well, no. The minute you said though, I cringed. You said Gilligan, come with the show.
No, not Gilligan's Island.
You said sci-fi. Nah, done. Not watching. I don't watch sci-fi. So.
Well, we don't know that it means.
You said sci-fi.
Okay, sci-fi could mean
not watching.
Aliens.
No, not watching. That's like the deal breaker. Not watching.
You're automatically out because it's sci-fi.
I'm out. I'm automatically out. Yes, I haven't watched. The only reason I watched Star Wars is because my daughter wanted to watch Star Wars, and so that's what I did. I watched it for her. We got like the box set and all that. No, so I didn't. That's all right though. I mean, it's great. No, but I'm not knocking people who do, and I actually didn't hate it. I thought the first Star Wars was some of the worst acting I've ever seen.
Wait, Brendan Gunn with an all-time great response.
What?
The guy's dying a million times and coming back from the dead in soaps doesn't count as sci-fi?
That's not sci-fi. They don't really die. They haven't really died. We think they die.
They just have 9 lives.
They haven't really
cats.
died. Stefano Demera died on Days of Our Lives many times, but he was the Phoenix. So he faked his death.
Oh, yeah, no, Phoenix is a reality.
No, he faked his death in order to evade law enforcement.
So real quick, because Andy B goes, damn, Judas just lost a lot of respect because my Sopranos thing. So what people sometimes I think forget, I'm 31, right? So when The Sopranos was coming out, we were children. So like
you weren't watching it live.
I was not watching. My dad didn't let me watch Sopranos, believe it or not, when I was a child. I did not try Sopranos until after I watched shows like Breaking Bad, The Wire. I am somebody who I don't need happiness in shows. Like I'm somebody that
I don't need it either. I root for villains, too.
It became... there were a lot of jokes in Sopranos. Like, I'm more of a serious TV guy.
How about if somebody came... I really don't understand it. With the way dudes watch TV, why more shows like that haven't been done about pro sports. There have been some. Arliss was a good show.
Never watched it.
Not a great show, but a good show. Entourage was a dude's show.
Great show.
But a lot of women did not like Entourage. Found it very douchey.
Okay.
And it was.
That's what great
And
about
it was very douchey. But to me, I always wondered is these skilled writers who created Sopranos and things like that, Breaking Bad, why don't they a pro sports or something about professional sports?
Hang on. We got it.
Maybe Nick Sirianni will answer that question.
I had it.
Nakobe Dean will start camp on PUP.
Howie!
He's doing a great job with his rehab. Can't wait to get him back. Other than that, everyone else will be on the fields.
Full attendance?
One more time?
Full attendance?
Full attendance. Everyone else will be on the field.
Howie, when you built this roster, curious how you took into effect how young you are on the defensive side of the ball. If you're comfortable, obviously you made a couple moves yesterday.
Yeah, I think that when you look at how we're built offensively, a lot of guys that are in the prime of their careers that we're coming up on free agency, so extended them. And, we look at our resources, whether it's draft picks or money, all kind of in the same boat. So if you're taking guys in the first round, to us, that's the same as paying guys big money on their contracts. So we still have a lot of resources on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of young players, a lot of who have played together, which is exciting, and obviously great opportunity for them.
Nick, you said one of your main messages leaving mini camp was the guys show up in great shape. How have you seen the conditioning test everybody showing up?
Yeah, I think the guys have worked hard to put themselves in position to start camp. So all the guys came back in really good shape, weighing what they're supposed to weigh, doing really well on the conditioning test. And that's what camp's for too. You know, I know these guys worked hard to be ready for that, but we'll do a lot of things that, you know, in the weight room, on the practice field, that are going to emphasize that conditioning. I think it's very clear the way we want to play football, with great physicality, with great detail, with great effort. There's no substitute there. You have to be in great shape. So we'll continue to push these guys to be in great shape, and I think we're off to a good start based off the conditioning test yesterday.
Vic, with the Kobe now on the pump, what is the position? How do you feel like the linebacker position is positioned right now, especially for the early parts of the season?
Yeah, I'm excited about that entire room. It'll be fun to get out there and compete. You know, and that's what it is. That's what training camp is competition. Competing every day. That's what the season is. It's a great preparation for the season when you're competing your butt off to get ready to play each game and during each game. So I'm really excited about that room. You know, you get some guys back for their second, third year, but then you also got some young guys that I'm really excited about to see. And I know Bobby King and Ronell will do a great job. Obviously, the linebacker position is Vic's specialty as well. He'll have his hands all over that as well, and excited to see how these guys develop. And that's our job. You know, how he gets us great players, and you know, you can't be great without great players, that's for sure. But our job is to develop them to become even better players through their fundamentals, through their awareness of the offense and the defense, through their situational football awareness. And so that's what this time's for.
There's any chance there's a picture with us without our eyes closed?
Yeah, you're going to see him out there today, like Howie said, and it would be fun to get him out there and start working with him. He looked like he had a great summer, and excited to have him out there working.
How much of an good opportunity is this for Jihad to be able to be in practice the first day?
Yeah, anytime you're able to step out into the field, it's huge, right? Because we look at every day of how we're trying to get better. Our goals in training camp are to get, you know, same thing. It's to get in great shape, playing shape. You know, they came back ready for the conditioning test. They're in good shape, but now it's time to get in great playing shape because it's a little bit different. You know, it's to work with great detail, right? Doing the ordinary things better than anybody else does it. How do we tackle better? How do we take care of the football better? How do we take the football away better? How do we fit blocks better? How do we take better angles on tackles? Those will be emphasized. And then how you coming together as a football team each and every day. That's so important at this time to come together as a football team. And you do that through, you know, suffering together. Training camp, football practice isn't fun all the time, right? Training camp's not fun all the time, but you suffer together to come closer together. And so not only Jihad, but our entire team, we're trying to focus on, you know, that conditioning, our detail, and also coming together as a football team.
In terms of the promotions and football ops, all earned. You know, all the people that got promoted did it because of the work that they've done. And, you know, just like we evaluate our players, we evaluate everyone in our front office. In terms of Joe Douglas, obviously personally very excited for him to be back. You know, unbelievable knowledge of this league. You know, will be a great resource for all of our scouts, all our front office people, having another GM in the building who can help develop our staff, because our staff development's a big thing. And, you know, he'll be involved like a lot of the other people. Every decision that we make, we talk about, we discuss. Obviously, I'm responsible at the end of the day for that, but couldn't be more excited to have him back, along with the rest of the staff that came back. Very fortunate that we didn't get totally decimated, though we did lose a couple of really good people that I'll miss.
What has made Vic Fangio so good at developing talent?
Yeah, just great football coaches, right? There's a lot that goes into it, right? I think a lot of people think it's just about scheme. Obviously, his scheme's really good, and obviously his scheme is tried and copied across the entire league, and so he has a great scheme. But all the little things, of the fundamentals and the detail of how he tries to get guys better that way. So, that's always, every time I'm looking at a football coach, do they have good scheme, and can they get the players better, and can they relate to the players? And I think we see that, all those things with Vic.
Speaking of the losses, kind of transaction with Anthony Patch, for a long time. What led to that happening?
Patch had been, he and I have been together really since I started. I was here maybe 6 months before he came in. Incredible person, incredible friend, incredible resource for me. It was just an opportunity for him to really kind of put his spin on a team that really needed him, get closer to home. He's a West Coast guy. When you talk about like what we look for in a football team and toughness and character, Andy Patch represents all that. This guy has overcome whatever it is to continue to stay loyal to the Eagles, win 2 world championships. I'm going to miss Anthony Patch.
Yeah, for you personally, how different is the start of this camp feel back at the bottom enough and reaching the top enough last season?
Feels the same, right? You got a lot of steps to go and daily work to put in. So, every year at the training camp feels the same. You're not looking back. You're not looking forward. You're solely focused on today and how we can get better today. And so when you have that mindset, when you have that focus that we want to have as a football team, that's how everyone should be feeling, is, hey, how am I getting better today? Not thinking about anything else.
How your players will be of that message?
Yeah, I've seen them to this point the same way. Very hyper focused on the day and ready to attack the day.
You've always been a general manager that's signed your draft picks relatively early on after that third year. You did it with Cam this offseason. Why is that important for you to do, to sign them early on?
When you talk about culture, and I think that's like a big picture word that a lot of people throw around, and it's hard to really define what that means. But I think from our perspective, when people understand that when they start here, that they have an opportunity to continue here and get rewarded here, it's incredibly important, so that when you draft guys, you can show them examples. If you do the right thing on and off the field, we're going to make sure that we keep you here and maybe even have a chance to finish your career here. And I think that just from our perspective, and everyone's got to do things their own way. I'm not saying it's perfect. We make a lot of mistakes. But from our way, that's a core tenet of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to draft, develop, sign. And when you do that with players, your opportunity to set up continuity, your ability to really set up leaders for your football team going forward who can show young players the way and how we do things, I think that gives you a chance to be special.
Now that you've had a little time to sort of process everything that was said, done, not done over the offseason on the push play, the push framework, sort of the fever pitch that reach at the March meeting, the May meeting. How do you look back at that now, and how do you look forward with that play?
Yeah, we just try to continue to get better at that football play and the compliments that come off of it. There's so many things that are out of your control, and you just truly have to focus on the things that you can control. I mean, that's a good... with everything with that, that's a good preview of how the season happens. There's things that are going to be out of your control, and you got to focus on the next play, and that's all we've tried to do.
John asked how he's going to go about defense. What do you like about it? You got the youngest defense in the league at this point. What do you like about that?
Yeah, again, you like the first and foremost the talent of the guys that we have out there. Obviously, every guy is here for a reason, picked by Howie and our team. And so excited about them and that, and then their mindset of the type of people they are. So just excited to work with that group. And, we played young guys last year. Again, we'll play the guys that best help us win football games. That's what we're in the business of, is winning football games. So the best guys that help us win football games will be the guys that are in there, young, old, middle. It doesn't matter. So, but that's what this is about. You got young guys competing against veterans, and excited to see how those competitions play themselves out.
And I would say the other thing to that, Ruben, is just, can I finish? I'm sorry. I would say the other thing with that, Ruben, is that it's not like these guys are new to playing with each other. A lot of these guys, when you look down the defensive roster, they have continuity within each other. You watch some of the guys who played together, whether it was last year or together in college, and they have chemistry. They understand what the other guys are thinking. And so I think that from that perspective, there is some experience together. I'm sorry.
You obviously sought out some advice from folks coming off of the championship in terms of messaging. You have a guy sitting next to you who has obviously lived through it with a different coaching staff, but been through it. How much has Howie and other guys in the building been a reference point?
Yeah, sure. Howie and I talk every day about, you name it. We talk about it. So huge resource to have Howie. Not, you know, in many aspects, obviously, not only the best GM in the NFL of acquiring talent and being great at his job, but also in his experiences. And so, yeah, you reach out to everybody, and we talk about this with the players a lot, right? We say, you know, who better for our young tackles to learn from than Lane Johnson, or how did Cam Jurgens learn the center position so well, besides the fact that, you know, he played great in college? Well, Jason Kelsey, well, the same thing here with how he's been through it, and being able to lean on him in situations like that is obviously a huge resource for myself.
What's the college that young players develop compared to externally?
Yeah, I think that's a tribute to Coach and his staff about wanting young players to develop, understanding these talented players that can help us. We saw it last year with our team. Really, we've seen it since Nick's been here, that they want the best players to play, and if they're young players with incredible talent, that's why you're drafting guys high. And it's a great opportunity for our young players to understand that playtime is available, and that's going to be sorted out through competition, through every day. There's not a day that goes by that we don't talk about this roster, including in the off season, and talk about what we're looking for and what we're seeing and what we really need. And so I think our message to our players is go compete, you know, and let things lay out there. And it doesn't matter if they're here 1 year or 5 years. Obviously, I think on defense we only have 3 guys over 25 years old, but they've been playing football for a long time.
How you spent part of the offseason with maintenance. How would you characterize the financial state of the team in this season, the flexibility to make mid-season moves if possible?
Yeah, I think that you got to look at that again just the same way we look at the resource allocation question. For us, it's the picks that we have. We have a lot of picks next year. We're expecting to have 13 picks in next year's draft, and those can be used to improve the team this year. They can be used to improve the team next year. They could be used to improve the team in the third year, you know. And so I think from our perspective, whatever opportunity comes about that could improve this football team, I mean, if there's an incremental difference on a player who's the 90th guy from a guy who's on the street, we're going to make that change. And we owe that to our fans. We owe that to our players. We owe that to Jeffrey to do whatever we can to keep improving the talent level on the team. And so the way that I look at it is that we have a lot of young players coming down the pipeline that we want to keep in Philadelphia, but we want to win. And we want to win right now. We want to win next year, and we want to win going forward. And that's my job, to try to balance it. And I'll do whatever I can to make sure that happens.
In terms of roster building this time versus last time you won the championship, you talked about the roster, somewhat experienced. Is that the greatest difference? That's what you learned from the last time, or that maybe running right back again?
I think when I look back at that moment, some of the lessons, and there were a lot of lessons, and we've talked about it over the course of the year, is like as much as you love the players, the staff, we got to keep getting better. And there are teams that are improving throughout the offseason that we got to keep up with, and we got to do whatever it takes to put our best team forward, our best foot forward. And so those are hard decisions. Those are hard conversations. It's not fun. But at the end of the day, we have a responsibility, and our responsibility is to continue to get better as a team. There's no resting on laurels, and sometimes those mean making some changes. And we made some changes. I think when you look back at that 2018 team, there are a lot of lessons. We didn't start incredibly hot. Obviously, we finished really well, had an opportunity in the second round of the playoffs. But when you look forward from that, not only what happened in 18, but what happened in 19, what happened in 20. And I think that we're positioned, and that's all we are, because we got to make good decisions. We're positioned to put ourselves to compete here, not only this year, but going forward.
What do you look forward
for the second and third year players? What's your experience of how much they typically improve from that year?
Yeah, everybody's different. You know, our job is just to continue to try to develop them, and their job is to work their butts off to try to develop. So, you know, obviously you know a little bit more about them going through an entire season with them. You know, what their strengths are, what their things that they need to work on are, and so you just try to continue to develop that. But every situation is a little bit different as far as, you know, rookies, you know, veterans, second-year players, third-year players.
Nick, you mentioned competition a lot. That's obviously what training camp is all about. And I know you're looking at everything as you come into it, but there a specific position group or guys who you're kind of very intrigued about how their offseason was and how they're coming into camp?
Sure, yeah. I mean, obviously not going to get into, you know, position battles or anything like that. We talk about that daily. Howie and I talk about that daily. We'll talk about that as a staff daily in our staff meetings. But looking forward to seeing how some of those play themselves out. But everything, yeah, we don't pencil in, hey, this guy is there or this guy's there, because we're working to compete with pads on. Obviously today, no pads on as we get acclimated. But, you know, things will sort themselves out. I think that's why we don't give you a lot of information of like, hey, these are the guys. Things are going to sort themselves out. There's a lot of practice time. There's a lot of things to play out before we do that. But, yeah, really looking forward to seeing these guys compete today.
Last one. You guys, for a while, get questioned about how much guys predict to, which guys work for this training, what stars, how long it lasts. The NFL schedule's changed a lot. It's not 17 games, probably another 18 games get collapsed. How much do you continue to reevaluate and think about how we do the playoff season? Because I think it's changing all the time.
I'm very fortunate to have someone sitting next to me who's thinking about that from the time the season ends, the confetti falls, and he's talking about what we're doing next year, and he's thinking about ways to improve. He's constantly evolving his thought process. He's picking the heads of every expert we have, not only in this building, but throughout this league and every league. And I have tremendous confidence in his ability to get our team ready to play. And so I defer to him on those things, and the conversations that we have where he's telling me the why of it is so in-depth and so well thought out that it makes me sleep really well at night.
Yeah. Again, every situation's a little bit different, but, you know, you're looking at to do the best thing for your football team. Now, in my experience, the best thing for the football team is to practice and get better at football. You don't get better at football by thinking about football. You get better at football by practicing. So you're always thinking about health and this and that. But, you know, teams that aren't in good shape, that's where some injuries happen. You know, obviously there's some things happen that with bad luck as well. But, you know, our goal and our mission is to be in best shape we possibly can be. You only get that by working here. But there's a fine line. There's a fine line of, you know, when to push, when to pull back. You know, but how you get better at football is by practicing football, and that'll be our emphasis here this next month.
All right. Thanks, folks. You guys are practice.
All right, there's Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman. Before the Mike Missanelli show, John, focus and say the AACR.
Boy, he gave us like 6 in one answer. Hey, Window Nation made a donation to the AACR today, the American Association for Cancer Research, and you can too. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saves lives.
Mike Missanelli show comes your way next. Everybody have a great rest of your day. We'll be back at